watching 10 Tampa Bay.
We are breaking into coverage right now for live team coverage, special coverage here along the Hillsborough River of the Parade of Champions. Yet again, we're doing it again. Carolina Lee joining you along with Ryan Bass this afternoon.
Third time in 285 days we get to celebrate our champions here along the Hillsborough River. It is back-to-back Parade of Champions. We've got live coverage starting right now on 10 Tampa Bay.
Lightning strikes twice. The Tampa Bay Lightning win their second straight.
This time, unlike any other, lockdown and isolation gave way to cheers and celebration.
We came together, rallying around a team built on brotherhood, a team of grit, determination, and oh, so much talent. We are the Proud Thunder, and today we are part of this team, just as they are a part of us. We, the no longer distant Thunder. Today, we celebrate the fight, the ultimate team victory. We revel in Lord Stanley's shining silver, proof that lightning does strike twice. This is back-to-back Parade of Champions.
About you, but it gives me chills just looking at it. What a run.
What an incredible run. We are so lucky here. What a gorgeous day along the Hillsborough River and the Tampa River Walk as we yet again get to celebrate a championship boat parade that only our city can do here in Tampa Bay. Ryan Bass alongside Carolina Lee. It's a beautiful day out here. We got fans, thousands of fans. Can we hear you guys for a second? Who's ready for this boat parade out here? It's going to be a fun day.
Oh, it's going to be an amazing day. A lot of people here right next to us, they're ready. I mean, they're front and center ready for, to see the players, to see the boats, to see the jet skis, to see
Lord Stanley. Hopefully not taking a dip inside the Hillsborough River today. What do you think?
I don't know about that bet.
Trophy toss today?
I think there's going to be a trophy toss. I mean, if I were a gambling woman, which I guess I will be today, yeah, I think that is going to be tossed.
So you're taking a live look right now at Sky 10 over the Hillsborough River as we're starting to get ready here for the parade. 10 a.m. those boats were corralled right around Davis Islands. The parade expected to start any moment now, but we know how these things certainly go.
Well, of course, it depends, right? Were the players on time? Were they there 10 a.m. at Davis Islands to get ready to jump on their boats? It all depends, but of course we're ready for a really exciting day here. We have so many boats lined up here along the Hillsborough River, making sure that they're out of the way so that we can see the players and we can see, of course, the coaches and the staff as we celebrate what they did this year yet again.
Look at this gorgeous shot over now as you're looking down live at Davis Islands. Those boats getting ready here for yet another championship parade. The Lightning celebrating their second Stanley Cup victory. Back-to-back champions here. The first team to do that since the 95-96 season. Unbelievable run for this Tampa Bay Lightning team. And what a way to celebrate here as you see our parade of coverage. This is where the parade starts. Davis Islands finishes up the Riverwalk towards Rick's on the River. We here, Caroline and I, are at Armature Works, so we'll have you covered here, but we've got crews lined up and down the Riverwalk.
We do, and towards the end of the day, we're going to see a big party at Julian B. Lane
yes,
Park.
We will.
Right, where the players are expected to take the stage and really celebrate with the fans who have been with them from day one.
It's going to be an unbelievable ride up the Hillsborough. If it's anything like it was back in September, it's going to be a sight to remember. We've got a crew down towards the start of this parade. Allison Kropp, Bobby Deskins are there with us. Guys, what a vantage point you all have down there too.
Oh my goodness, and the boats have been out here for hours so far this morning.
The euchre seats, we got front row right here. This is obviously the convention center right behind us. The parade will actually do kind of a loop in this area as well too, so when they get here, they should be here for a little bit of time. But we're watching them come down the river, up the river I guess I should say, and I'm wondering, do you think they got the same boat assignments as last year? Like let's just make a template, we'll do it every year?
They've just lined up right along the river. They're like, oh, this is normal for us now. Third boat parade to do. It's not too bad.
We're surprised that they all showed up on time. And these are hockey players that just won the Stanley Cup. There it is right there. So you can see that's Hedman. Stamkos is there. Look, right on the bow of the boat. He's picking up the trophy right there. There's the Stanley Cup. Here he goes.
You make a great point. They're getting it going early. Oh, here he is. He's picking up the cup.
Oh, no, they're drinking. They're drinking out of it.
It can hold 14 beers in that cup. You heard that, right?
The guy that carries the cup around, he said, yeah, I'm going to confirm that they can handle about 14 12-ounce beers, and he says he's been to a few parties.
Yeah, one too many parties to see them drinking out of the
right.
cup. Yes, of course you're going to be on the Hillsborough River on a day celebrating our Tampa Bay Lightning. having a nice little drink out of Lord Stanley.
I tell you, it's hot out here, lots of sunshine. We are expecting a stray thunderstorm developing after about 2 o'clock, but for most of the parade, it should be good. Some storms are rolling through around 4 to 5 o'clock, so we'll have to watch Julian B. Lane later today. But right now, it's just lots of sunscreen.
It's perfect boat weather.
It really is.
It really is. There's a nice breeze, which is helpful because there's so much sunshine. But people are out here in their bathing suits. They still have their Lightning jerseys on some of these boats.
Yeah.
They don't care how hot it is.
I can't tell you how many AC/DC songs we've heard today, especially
Over
Thunder.
and over, which is fine, as we expect to continue to hear that for sure.
So where they are now, this is down, they basically got organized down at the end of Davis Islands, the very south end. And they're coming up the river between Davis Islands and Harbor Island. And that's where they'll meet us right here out in front of Jackson's American Social, if you're familiar with that. And of
They
course,
got
the convention
family
center.
out on the bow of the
Look
boat.
at that.
There it is.
What's the shirt say? It says Cup, Parade,
Boat parade, repeat.
That's right. And that's where we are now. Look, they got definitely the kids out there. It's going to be a fun time today.
So much fun too, again, the community, getting to be out here in this way, which was so different from a year ago. Yeah, you got to have a boat parade, but just where we've come in a year and to be able to be out here celebrating with the community and to win at home and celebrate with the fans at Amalie Arena.
And think, last year the Bolts kind of led the way when we were kind of slowly opening back up. Remember, they were over at Raymond James Stadium, and then they actually had people in the stands. They're kind of spread out a little bit more. Obviously, that's not the issue right now. Julian B. Lane is going to be fun this afternoon, that's for sure. Especially when these guys have been having beverages on boats for a couple hours before. What they'll do is they'll actually come all the way up the river. They'll get off at Rick's on the river, which is even past Armature Works, going up the river, and then they will be bussed over to Julian B. Lane, where most of the crowd will be hanging out there.
And they get to have a huge celebration in downtown Tampa with Tampa Bay, all getting to go out there and celebrate these guys, which had just such an exciting season and a fun run all the way down to the last game.
You know, the playoffs started in the middle of May.
Gosh, we've been doing
almost
this a while.
2 months of it. And I want to show you one thing. When we're going to zoom out every now and then, look out for that police boat that's around there. With the cup on that boat, there's likely the TPD divers.
Yes, they're watching
on that boat.
They
Speaking of
make
TPD.
sure. Yes. So Tampa Mayor Jane Castor spoke with us because she wanted to make sure the team knows how proud she is.
The Lightning have been an incredible organization ever since they came to Tampa. And to be back-to-back Stanley Cup winners, I mean, that is historical on so many levels. And it just, you know, there's nothing that brings a community together like sports. We can all cheer for our team to win. And for the Lightning to be so successful just brings sheer joy to the entire community. Mayor Jane, the entire Tampa Bay region love our Lightning, and so does Dessa the office dog. Let's get this party started.
That sounds perfect. Of course the dog has a jersey. That's so fantastic.
It's we want to let you know we're here at TGH right now, and you can't see this on camera, but we've got a bunch of frontline heroes out here with their cameras. It's so nice to get them an opportunity to come right out from work and get to see all what's going on out here. That's it, guys. That's Hedman, Stamkos, Coleman. I think Coleman's on there too.
They got a nice old boat that they're taking down the river.
It's a little boat, a little dinghy. Got a little dinghy there.
You gotta have a boat like that if you're gonna put the Stanley Cup on it. It's gotta be a beautiful boat like that.
And I do think that was the boat that they actually started with the cup on last year. We'll see if the cup stays on that boat. I doubt it. I doubt it. I don't know. You know, it's amazing. Alex Killorn took a puck to the leg, blocking a shot. They were saying he might play. What we didn't know was he flew to have surgery and have a rod placed in his lower leg. And he was still questionable about playing.
Right, still thinking about it.
He put skates on the night that they won the cup, and he skated around and was able to do that and have the and hoist the cup over his head at home. It was just amazing what these guys have gone through. I think Cooch, I think he heard he had a broken rib. We kind of thought that was the case.
Hockey players are just different breed.
And it's a month and a half, almost 2 months long, they're going through this. Look at that. Look at that. It's just amazing out there right now.
Yeah, finally starting to get them to see. So you can see behind us dozens and dozens of boats that have been out here since early this morning, getting their spot, making sure they're right along the parade route that's going to go underneath the bridge and then head into downtown Tampa. And just everybody's so excited. You could feel the energy from the water from the beginning of the day.
In the traffic, getting here this morning, people with flags everywhere.
That was
It was
cool.
really a different feeling. A lot of excitement around the town.
Yeah, a lot of excitement. Excitement up at Armature Works as well. We're going to get back to Ryan Bass and Carolina Lee.
And you know, one of the things with a parade like this is everyone's looking for the best spot, right? They're
Right.
looking for like, what's the best place I can watch this thing? But the key is the Lightning have said to the fans, hey, make sure that you fan out, you get both sides of the river, really let's show love up and down the river. But yeah, you know, there's a few choice spots that people love. And Armature Works right now is packed. I mean, we're having a good time here.
I got to give a shout out to our crew that got out here at 6 a.m. So we had a good vantage point for you all to make sure that we could broadcast this parade for you and kind of set the scene.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, I mean, you look to our left and to our right, there are thousands of fans lining the Riverwalk. And Allison and Bobby brought this up. Remember, September, when this first parade happened 285 days ago, it was in the middle of COVID-19, in the middle of the pandemic, in the heart of it. You didn't get that same sort of buzz and energy. There are thousands out here right now and thousands more. I could see the line of cars getting ready to pile in here at Armature. This is one of the last spots.
Of course, and if anything, it really helped with this parade, right? Because people really were hungry for this. They want to come out. They want to be side by side with the other fans to make sure that we celebrate what the Bolts have done this year and last year. I mean, it's less than a year. We had 2 parades, really 3. You count Bucks. This has been a busy year for us.
It's been unbelievable. As you're taking a live look right now, that is the boat right now with Steven Stamkos and Victor Hedman that have the Stanley Cup on it. And if you remember last year when they came down this stretch right here by Armature Works, it was sunset. So you got a beautiful shot of on that same boat, Hetty and Stammer lifting up the cup on a beautiful backdrop here in Tampa Bay. Again, only a picturesque scene that we could show you.
And just a reminder, that thing is not light.
34.5 pounds.
Yeah.
3 feet long.
Yeah, and of course, we keep bringing up Tom Brady. We got some fans
We
right
got
here.
some friends
yeah,
behind
sorry.
us here.
We had a dog on a jet ski here maybe 15 minutes ago. This has been really entertaining. What was that thing the guy was on? Like a floating.
One of the
it's
high
like a motorized.
Yeah, motorized.
It's fun. It's just fun.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
By the way, you mentioned AC/DC. We got some Back in Black hanging out here behind us.
To be
Bobby
expected,
D.
of
So the
course.
soundtrack is hanging out.
Yeah.
A beautiful look as Sky 10 gives you a view
Yeah.
over here, vantage point, up high above here as we cover the parade.
Let's go ahead and send it over to Tweelon Wynn. She's out here along the parade route with fans. Let's see what she's got.
Yeah, this has been the place to be all morning because this is right at the start of it. So people have been out here very early since about 6 o'clock waiting. And we've got a lot of boats docked out on the water, people watching that Stanley Cup go by. And then we've got a lot of fans here. I've got one friend, my buddy Hampton. Come over here. How has your day been so far, Hampton?
Good.
Yeah.
Very good.
What have you been doing over here?
Well, we were just waiting for all the boats and players to come by.
Yeah, and you saw the Stanley Cup come by, did you?
Well, we saw it last year, but I didn't see it this year. Well, I didn't see it like right now because like I still didn't see it because like it's very far out there. But I didn't know if they came yet.
Yeah, kind of hard to see. He's kind of echoing that sentiment. A lot of people didn't know it came by because it happened so quickly without a lot of fanfare, quietly when you're on the shore here. But what have you been thinking about this season? How did you feel when they won a second time?
Very amazed because I mean 2 times in a row is amazing.
What was your reaction?
Happy and excited.
Happy and excited. Hampton, thank you so much. And we've got more fans all along the way down here, but it's been a lot of energy, a lot of great time. Some people don't want to be shown because they said they called out sick from work, so they don't want to be on TV. So we're just going to walk straight by those people, keep their anonymity because we're all going to celebrate together. And we've got one here who will talk to us because she took the day off work. So tell me a little bit about how you're feeling today.
Oh, it's so exciting. I'm born and raised here in Florida and been in the Tampa Bay area my entire life. And having them win back-to-back cups and the Super Bowl and the Rays doing so well, and last year they got in the World Series, it can't be any better than that being a sports fan in Tampa.
It's a great time to be in Tampa as a sports fan. A lot of people talk crap about Tampa and they say, you know what do you guys know about hockey? It's too hot there. What do you say to those people?
Absolutely. I got friends from Canada. Matter of fact, I talked to them this morning and I was rubbing it in, and they all say it can't be a hockey town. And I'm going to shoot them all these pictures from today and say, say, you're wrong. It is one of the best hockey towns in America.
Absolutely. How can you dispute that we are a hockey town when we've got 2 parades like this? I mean, this celebration is really unique to Tampa because nowhere else are you going to have a boat parade with thousands of people along the route. I mean, how do you feel about that experience itself?
It's so exciting. You know, last year with COVID and being locked down and not even being able to go to games, you know, we celebrated in the middle of COVID with the boat parade. I thought it was really great. And now this year to be able to really celebrate with them, to do it back to back, can't get any better than that.
Absolutely. Enjoy your morning. Thank you so much for joining us. But it is the same sentiments all along the way here. People have been out here for quite some time. I know the guys over here have had their chairs out all since this morning. You guys want to talk to us? Yeah, of course they do. The Lightning fans. What's your name, sir? Oh, look at this shirt. I love this. Hawaiian and... It's old. I mean, so you're not a bandwagon fan then, are you?
Oh, no. Long time season ticket holder since the start.
Absolutely. And you, sir, what's your name?
My name's Dave.
Dave. You guys, I saw your chairs out here first thing this morning.
7:30.
7:30. Were you afraid you were going to miss a spot?
Well, we've been before, so it was all good, and we knew we live across the street. It was excellent. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts kind of having a second parade? Are we taking too much glory from everyone else?
No, never.
Never.
I'm expecting a three-peat.
A three-peat. You heard it. He says a three-peat, and that's what we want. We want more of these parades because they are working out beautifully with so many fans enjoying them along the way. So, Ryan, what do you say? A three-peat?
I mean, 3P would be excellent.
Let's enjoy this moment.
I will tell you, because savor this, Tampa Bay fans. This doesn't happen very often, okay? The Lightning, by the way, since they became a franchise in the NHL, have won 3 cups since the 92-93 season. Only Detroit, who has 4, has won more cups during that span. This doesn't happen often. We are so spoiled.
And this is a young team, so when you start comparing them to other teams, we were talking earlier about it, you know, this is a younger team in the sense of how long the franchise has been around, so that's amazing that they've been able to accomplish this in those years.
It's incredible.
So, we're going to head over to sound we have with Mayor Kreisman and really just congratulating his team. We're hearing from a lot of city leaders.
The victory was perfect. You know, it was one of these where as a fan, you're on the edge of your seat for the entire game. And I'm sure it felt that way to the players too. But to see them win 1-0, first off, Vasilevsky always, again, standing on his head, doing everything he had to do to keep that puck out of the goal. And another shutout victory to clinch a series. But, you know, here's this team that several years ago was one of the best in the league, but just never was a little bit short on defense. And so to me, in some ways, it was more gratifying to see them win 1-0 because it showed that all facets of the game they've mastered now. And it's so much fun to see the excitement, and you know, everywhere you go, you see people wearing the Lightning jerseys and hats, and you know, talking about the Bolts and which player that they love, and you know, that's what it's all about. Sports brings a community together in ways that other things don't, especially as we're coming out of the pandemic. You know, and it's been such a rough and tough year and a half for so many of us to have something that lifts us up and brings us together as a community where there's so many other things that kind of are pulling us apart. You know, that's what's really special about sports.
You know, you really can't walk out of your house without seeing blue, some sort
Everywhere.
of Lightning gear. It's everywhere.
I mean, the flags are everywhere, the gear's everywhere. By the way, I love the Cup Boat Parade repeat shirts.
Yes.
Those are excellent. And how about Mayor Kreisman with the analysis there? And he's spot on because Andrei Vasilevsky, 5 consecutive series-clinching shutouts. This defense, Steve Yzerman, now with the Detroit Red Wings, but a few years ago as the GM of the Lightning, made a bunch of moves to get rid of some of the offensive guys we had. Jonathan Drouin was one of those really talented offensive skill guys. Get guys like Mikhail Sergachev. Trade for those like Ryan McDonough, the defenseman that came in here, those gritty defensemen that really shored up this D-line, this blue line, and helped lead the Lightning to back-to-back cups.
Oh, it's so exciting. I got to tell you, you know what's really special about being out here is the fact that you think about other cities and when they have a parade, right? It's floats, you're going down the street, nothing like this. Other cities don't get to do this. A boat parade, people lined up along the river. It's just really incredible to be out here today.
Again, you're taking a live look right now over Marjorie Park there and towards Davis Islands as those boats start to get corralled and this parade can begin here. And you mentioned that. Alex Killorn actually talked about it. Yeah. We can never go back, right? I mean, we can't go back to a regular parade down the middle of Bayshore, right? This has become a staple for the city of Tampa, born out of the COVID era, but I feel like it's here to stay now as we celebrate our champions.
It's really become a signature, right? That's how people know us across the country. They're like, oh, wait, Tampa Bay. Well, obviously Tampa Bay, the teams that always win, but also the fact that we have this boat parade really makes it so special.
It really is an incredible atmosphere out here. Again, you're starting to see some of the boats. The boats you have behind us, these are some fans lined up. Remember, they can't tag along in the parade, but they are able to kind of hang out on the outskirts here. And if you remember back in September, we had boats that came right up here to the corner here of Armature Works. Yanni Gord, I'll never forget, smashing 2 beers together and chugging it. There will be some beverages consumed on these boats today, I can tell you that. Alex Killorn with some words of advice to the 2 guys that haven't had an opportunity to do this yet, David Savard and Ross Colton. Hydrate, very important today.
Yes, hydrate. All right, so we just heard from the mayor of St. Pete. Let's go over to, oh, there she is, Mayor Jane Castor. She really has been vocal. Remember when she said, we'd rather win it at home? That was a little controversial. Fans are like, no, we just want to win this.
You know, it's funny.
Knock it out.
That went viral, Carolina, everywhere. And Mayor Castor actually took a little bit of heat of those saying, well, you know, first of all, you can't hope that the home team loses, of course. But I do love the fun she had and the trolling she had after. She goes, wasn't it nice to celebrate on home ice? Mayor Castor, I'm sure, certainly very happy they were able to get it done in Game 5.
Oh, very happy. I mean, I understood what she meant by that, but a lot of fans were like, wait a minute now. Really just a fun time there. Look at her right on the front of the boat. Really, the city of Tampa has done a fantastic job putting this together. I mean, think about how quickly, you know, obviously they knew that this could come, but to put something like this together takes a lot, right? You got to think about all the law enforcement that needs to be prepared to be out here. Logistics, closing down roads, getting fans to where they need to go to, keeping everyone safe. You know, it seems like it's just slapped together. It's not. There's a lot of work that goes into putting this on, but we have a lot of practice doing it, so it's a little easier when you've won it several times.
I feel like the third time is going to be the charm in terms of a boat parade here. And one of the things I do want to mention with just how special this was, a lot of fans have asked, well, how come this didn't happen on a weekend? Why couldn't we have this on Saturday or Sunday? Yeah. The reason that we are having it today is because Jeff Vinnick's son, the owner of the Lightning, got married over the weekend. You can't have a parade of champions along the Hillsborough River without the owner of the Tampa Bay Lightning. And remember, this franchise, according to ESPN, was ranked the #1 franchise in all of sports a few years ago. Jeff Vinnick, one of the key reasons for that. You can't have this party without the owner.
Without the person responsible for making that happen and making this team what it is. It's really incredible. And you got to think about a lot of the fans who may have been calling out today. Can you imagine your boss getting that phone call like, oh, I can't make it to work today?
What happened? Just you know, a little long weekend. I got a cold.
I'm gonna be out.
How many of you called in sick for work today? I'm just curious.
Oh, we got some hands going.
We got a couple of hands being raised today.
Admit it.
We won't tell your bosses. I know who you are. That you called in sick today. But guys, what an incredible scene we've got out here. And again, we've got people filing in. This parade hasn't gotten going officially yet as they continue to corral those boats near Davis Islands. Again, the route will go up the Hillsborough River. It's the same exact route from September, where they were past the Straz Center, the Museum of Art. Julian B. Lane is where that post celebration is going to be. They say 2 o'clock, probably looking more like 2:30, 3 o'clock, depending on when this thing gets started. That's when the post celebration will be. They'll come past Armature Works here, finish up, and dock up at Rick's on the River.
And that's why we have law enforcement out here in the water, making sure that boats, you know, regular people on boats stay back. They're not allowed to be part of the parade. They need to be back at least 50 feet. And we've seen that happen, people anchoring, but they're trying to keep them back away so that we can keep the channel and everything open up for the players as they come through. Really.
You see the Stanley Cup off there in the distance on that boat right there being lifted over the head. Yep. It looks like Victor Hedman. I can't really tell from this vantage point. But what I will tell you is Allison and Bobby brought it up. There are TPD divers on standby, and Arbo Zimmer did a story with one of the divers earlier last week. And the diver said, at all times, a pair of eyes will be on that Stanley Cup, just to make sure if Lord Stanley decides to go for a swim, those divers are ready to go and retrieve it.
Yeah, and they're obviously fully capable and trained to do it as quickly as possible. They're just, if that happens, in and out, in and out. But the key that we did here when Bo did his story is that it's not just the concern if the Stanley Cup falls in the water, it's people going after it, right?
Correct.
So it's the combination of the two, that you have those divers there and that you have a team of law enforcement ready to make sure that this is a safe day and that Lord Stanley gets out as quickly as possible. If that happens.
Let's
I
hope
have
it
faith
doesn't.
in them. I have faith if they toss
a
it,
little
they're going to catch it.
A little avocado tequila-induced toss from Tom Brady went viral a few months ago. I don't know what we'll see here, but I will tell you, for anyone that's had an opportunity to lift that cup up, it is heavy. Again, 3 feet long, 34.5 pounds. That sterling silver is one of the more coveted trophies and one of the most unique trophies, arguably the most unique trophy in all of sports. It's hard to toss. It's hard to lift over your head, let alone get it from boat to boat. So let's hope it doesn't go for a dip.
Strong. And like you said, a little avocado tequila helps, a little, to be able to toss it from one boat to another. The big thing I think a lot of people are wondering, is Tom Brady going to make a cameo here to be a part of that?
What do you think?
Toss? Oh, that's a tough one. I don't think he wants to steal any of the limelight from the guys, which would be hard to do anyways, but I could go either way. I'm not sure. You?
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he made an appearance on someone else's boat, which, by the way, Nikita Kucherov's Instagram yesterday, if you took a look at his story, he was on a boat with both the Lombardi Trophy and the Stanley Cup. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Lombardi Trophy makes an appearance here at today's parade.
That's that ski I was talking about. The man was riding around here and people were cheering like crazy. He's got like a blow-up Stanley Cup, and it's been amazing. People have been cheering for it.
We got a couple jet skis coming here behind us and some GoPros. Everybody trying to capture the moment. You know, Carolina, we talk about what this week has been like. It's almost been a week since they won the Cup last Wednesday.
Yeah.
I've been watching these guys' stories, their social media accounts. They're having a blast with this Stanley Cup. Last year, remember, they won it in the Canadian bubble. They didn't get that opportunity to celebrate with the fans until they touched down here in Tampa. If you remember Alex Killorn, after party at AMSO, that place was crazy last year after they won the Cup. But they've had an opportunity since last Wednesday to go around, to take this Cup around town, to really showcase and experience this with their fans, something that COVID robbed from them last year.
And I always think, when I see that, when you see their page, you see them celebrating, you just think back to all the hard work. Yes, there's talent involved, but the hours, the time, these guys have been playing since they were pretty much in diapers. It's just really amazing that, they were able to accomplish this, and now they get to really celebrate the way that they should, to be able to be out here with the fans and to be able to just hoist that Stanley Cup up in the air, which has been amazing to see.
This has been
look at the fleet there. It's impressive from Chopper.
And again, you mentioned logistics of getting this parade organized. Think about, you're trying to corral all these boats. You've got these guys on here. You've got fans that are hanging out in the water too. There's a lot of safety involved here. Shout out to our first responders, TPD, everybody that's gotten this parade organized. It is not an easy task, as we do anticipate that they're going to get going here, hopefully in the next 20, 25 minutes or so, getting those boats corralled. Lifting this Stanley Cup, I've watched them do it probably about 10 times now. You got to think, by the time they get here to Armature Works, those arms got to be a little tired,
You would think that, your arm would be really, really tired after that. But, I guess it's just the energy of knowing that you won it, that you won it all, So it's just been so much fun. I'm trying to see here. What is that? I've got about 12 people there on the front of the boat.
That is a heck of a vessel, by the way,
is.
where the cup will live. And again, it likely will get passed from a couple of boats here. But you mentioned the long season and the dedication here. That boat, by the way, Stamkos and Hedman are on right there lifting the cup. Same boat last year that had the Stanley Cup. You mentioned how long the season is. Keep in mind, this season started with COVID restrictions in place. Canada had their own division. There wasn't the ability to cross from border to border. You played only teams in your division leading up until that third round of the playoffs. So these guys had to overcome that as well. This wasn't like it was a regular NHL hockey season. There was a lot that these guys were battling through that they had to overcome in order to win back-to-back cups. That's what makes it even more impressive, Carolina. This isn't just a regular season. These guys mentally had to prepare yet again, had to go through those same COVID protocols to be able to win this cup and hoist it yet again here in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we continue with our live coverage here, the fans really are you can see the anticipation as we're here at Armature Works, and they are just really excited to see the players, to see all those boats come and pass us here at Armature Works. We've got crews, throughout this area. You heard Bobby Deskins and Allison Croft. The funny thing about Bobby, one of the facts he gave us was how many beers fit inside, and it's so
14
funny. That's
12-ounce cans, yep.
Oh, you would know that,
14 12-ounce cans, not for me.
A careless driver's texting on their cell phone and hits you. That's not right. Put your...
All right, still
Sorry
back out here
bit
live. A little issue there, technical issue. But back out here at Armature Works, Ryan Bass and Carolina Lead here with you. Again, you're taking a look at these boats. Unbelievable scene out here. I do want to say back to the control, we got mixed minus in our ear, if you guys can help us out with that, since we're hearing us on a delay here in our ear. But again, look, there's the Stanley Cup being raised. You know who I haven't seen yet? Nikita Kucherov. Now endorsed by Bud Light after that shirtless unbelievable scene for his press conference after winning the Stanley Cup. You will see some shirts out here, some custom-made shirts. I can't say on the air what those shirts have written on them, but you will see it is one of the emphatic phrases that Coach repeated time after time after time at his press conference. These guys are embracing that. They're also embracing the fact that there was a lot of scrutiny for this team. Yes. A lot of opposing teams out there saying that they cheated because Nikita Kucherov missed the entire season, all 56 games after off-season hip surgery. He was able to come back for game 1 of the playoffs. If you remember, he scored 2 goals against the Florida Panthers. But there's a lot of people saying that the Lightning skirted the rules. The NHL actually investigated that, found that they didn't do anything wrong. They went $18 million over the cap in the postseason to be able to have Cooch play. You'll see these guys with the shirts that say $18 million over the cap. Again, trolling, embracing it. When you're back-to-back champs, you can do that, and they're going to show the world that they celebrated and they won this thing accurately and appropriately.
I just love the humor. I love the fact that they're able to embrace something like that. And like, okay, yeah, that's what everyone's talking about. Okay, no problem. We got these shirts made just to show you what we think about that. You know, Ryan, what I always find curious about this is how they pick who gets on what boat. Like who's where, and you know what players get to be with which players. It's just funny to see. It's you know, think about us trying to see who's on the boat right there.
Yeah, you've got Ross Colton that's on that boat there. Looks like David Savard is on that boat. So you got a number of guys, and this is what I like. What the Bucks didn't do, which I really appreciate the Lightning do, is they put a flag with all their jersey numbers on the side of the boat, so you can recognize. And these fans too, they get an opportunity to recognize and see the guys as they start to float down the river. A little bit easier to identify who's on what boat.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because if you're on land and you're a little bit far away, you see that number and you know exactly who it is. Passing by real quickly, so you can get those photos, because today is all about getting those photos for your social media account.
Oh, absolutely. There's going to be a lot of Instagram stories out here today. All right, guys, our coverage of the back-to-back Parade of Champions will continue here on 10 Tampa Bay. We will take you through this entire parade. Hang out with us. We're going to a quick break. You will continue to be able to watch this live feed of the parade as we hit the break here. We'll be right back with you on 10 Tampa Bay.
The Lightning Championship Parade on 10 Tampa Bay is sponsored by
Thanks for staying with us here on our special coverage of the Tampa Bay Lightning Boat Parade, back-to-back Parade of Champions. So we think that the Stanley Cup's pretty close. We think that we can see it.
It's right here by the Westin.
Right here. It's coming. It's getting closer. The Starship is out here now, and it's kind of making a little bit of a path through all of these boats as it's going to be making its way past the convention center.
It's the fleet of starships. There's one, two. There's the Captain Nemo's. Looks like they've got the pirate boat there as well too. It's getting really crowded in there, as you can see, and the Cup is just getting there. On the right-hand side is the Westin. Jackson's American Social is right there as well. You can see the fireboat right there that's leading everything.
And you see the Cup right there in the middle of your screen as we stand on the bow of the boat lifting the Stanley Cup as they make their way into downtown Tampa, where really this is where they're going to see more and more fans that have come out for this parade.
Yeah, especially the folks that are on the boats. But you think we've got the convention center. There are people lining the railings of the convention center. We've got the bridges going over the river. They're up and down that.
Yep, they closed off the bridges, so you're seeing hundreds of people, except for in the middle, because they're probably going to have to lift the bridge for a couple of these bigger boats that'll be coming through. But yeah, they've got people lined up on the bridge. They've got a bunch of people out along Bayshore Boulevard, also hoping to get a spot as well. This is a look at the Hillsborough River from where we are, as Paul, our photojournalist that's out here, he's kind of scanning the river a little bit as well.
Yeah, it looks like it's a little bit upriver.
That doesn't look like it's a little bit upriver.
You know, they talk about this not being a hockey town. Did you know that Tampa holds the record for the largest NHL crowd?
So talk about it not being a hockey town.
28,183, I think is what it was, back when they were playing at the Trop, when it was called the Thunderdome in 1996. We have the largest crowd.
Well, you know, when you go to a Lightning game, the energy from the moment you walk into Amalie Arena and the whole game, it's a show. It's exactly a show. And it's great hockey to watch, which helps a lot. But just to have this community rally around this team and just have so much fun for the whole season.
How fun is this? So you see the jet ski on the north side of that boat right there. I wonder if that's any of the players. This year they have a Bolts Ops boat.
Okay.
So like photographers, people associated with the Bolts that are like working and photography, taking pictures, video of it all. I wonder if that's something that they've learned through experience, right?
Well,
I mean, you can refine this boat parade every year. So next year's parade should be even better.
You think that everything's going so smoothly next year? It's going to go a little smoother, a little smoother. They certainly have it down to a science. All the boats came, they lined up right along the riverwalk here, and then the Starship boats, they came out, and you can kind of tell everybody's falling into place as we wait for the players to start making their way.
Definitely really, really crowded in here. It'll be interesting to see how they do their loops, because this is the area where they're supposed to hang out. And you know, obviously downtown, we're just feet away, yards, I should probably say, from Amalie Arena. You can see it off in the distance
right
as well.
behind the boats. To be able to see that coming into downtown Tampa. Imagine that being a player and you're on this boat. You're seeing Amalie Arena where you just won the Stanley Cup. You're seeing all of the fans that have come out here and been so loyal for years and years, and then to get to watch this for a second time, back to back.
Well, remember Alex Killorn did Doc Talk.
Yeah.
And he would this is when they shut the season down last year because of COVID and they had nothing to do. So he would drive around on his jet ski and go see all the other players that lived on the water in the area and bring them gifts, bring them bottles of liquor and things like that. But he started a whole big social media push with that. And that really brings the fans in.
Exactly. You're getting to know him in a totally different way. So this is right above where we are. We're on what would be the top of your screen at Tampa General Hospital. But it looks like chaos, right?
Really, it is.
Controlled chaos, for sure. Okay, so we are at Tampa General Hospital, which is just to the top of your screen, and then the convention center is at the bottom of your screen there. You see the starships, that they are lined up, so the boats are going to be making their way from the top of your screen up the Hillsborough River into downtown, where fans, we're starting to hear them yell a little bit as well. Oh, Titus O'Neil, so he spoke with us. We're going to have people all throughout this special today that just want to show their support and congratulate the Lightning. So we have Titus O'Neil, WWE superstar, that has some words for the team.
Coach Cooper, Jeff Vinnick, all the Tampa Bay Lightning staff, players, support staff, thank you so much for not only putting smiles on thousands and thousands of people's faces, not only in 2020 during a pandemic with what you were able to achieve on the ice, but also what you achieve off the ice on a consistent basis. We had watch parties that had 16,000 people there, 17,000 people there to cheer you on when you were on the road. And all that money, to know that all that money was going back to local charities, speaks very highly of everything that you all stand for, which is first class, love of our community. And Jeff Vinnick, you know, I'm a huge fan of yours for so many reasons, but to Coach Cooper, Stamkos, you know, Vassie, everybody, I just want to say on behalf of WWE, we have a very special WWE Tampa Bay Lightning Stanley Cup 2021 championship title that I want you to make sure that you wear proudly. Don't throw it in the water. You know, you can't throw the Stanley, that's a little bit too heavy, but we saw that the Lombardi Trophy can be thrown and caught. So you can do whatever you want with this. Wear it proudly. You guys earned it. You're the greatest champions in the NHL for the last 2 years. Celebrate that at the boat parade, all around town. Wherever this goes, the Stanley Cup needs to be as well.
How cool is that?
Such a great guy, up for a humanitarian award himself. He is a man of the people.
Yeah.
Just amazing. And the team has been, we talk about it being a community thing, everybody likes it. You know, they give away $50,000 to charities every single home game.
Yeah, we're talking about what they do on the ice. It is off the ice how incredible this team is. Year round, you're going to see them out in the community helping in different ways with different organizations. It really is phenomenal what they do.
We've got the mayor behind us right now, Thunderbug, on the bow of the boat right there. That's pretty much leading the way. And you can see, look at them trying to get through there.
Tampa Mayor Jane Castor doing this again. I'm just doing it with the Super Bowl.
Man, it's such an impressive view when you look at it from above, right, from the chopper. It's so incredible. You know, when you're down here, of course, it's amazing. You see all these boats, it's incredible. But boy, from that vantage point, you really get an idea of just how many people have turned out today to really be a part of this.
And how many boats are in the water, too, right? I mean, look. think about it. We talked about logistics earlier again. To be able to corral all these boats, to get them going, and then parading up here along the Hillsborough River, it is no easy task. Shout out to TPD and all of our first responders and what they're doing to make sure that this parade gets organized. As you're taking a look right now at a couple of the boats here around TGH, the convention center. This is backed by Davis Islands. They're going to come up towards the convention center. They're going to make a loop by American Social and Jackson's, then come up through the river past the Strads, the Museum of Art, pass by Julian B. Lane, which is where the post celebration is going to be. Hug us over here at Armature Works, where we've got thousands of fans waiting to say hello, and then finish up at Rick's on the River.
Yeah, it's going to be great. You know, Ryan, Bobby was telling us, of course, that fun fact about how much beer fits inside the Stanley Cup. Another one that I think is really cool is the typos on the Stanley Cup. Just how many there are. You look at, the Boston Bruins is spelled wrong, the Islanders. Oh, do you see something?
Yeah, that's Andrei Vasilevsky right there that you see in the middle of your screen. He's holding up the Conn Smythe trophy that is given to the playoff MVP. Vasi won that award. They also, as you see, look at that. I told you the Lombardi trophy would make an appearance. Nikita Kucherov hanging out with the Lombardi trophy there on the Vasi Kuch boat.
I saw a bit of a splash here. I got nervous for
There
a
is
second.
a lot of hardware on that boat right now. Not the Stanley Cup, but when you have the Lombardi and you have the Conn Smythe Award trophy, there's certainly a lot of hardware on that boat.
Especially where it's sitting. I mean, it's making me a little nervous where it's at right there. I'm like, is it going to slip through? What are we doing here? But at least it's really heavy there. And there's the jet skis. I got to tell you, Ryan, you're obviously a much better boater than I am. Just seeing how close the boats are getting, you got to be pretty good.
Let me tell you something. As somebody who does enjoy myself out on the water, it makes you look. I mean, look how close they are right now to these other boats. It makes me a little bit nervous. But these guys got it under control. They've got captains on these boats. They know what they're doing. They're making sure that everybody is safe. And what an unbelievable postseason, by the way, for Andrei Vasilevsky, the big cat. 6th goaltender in NHL history with at least 5 shutouts in a postseason. Almost identical numbers to Nikolai Hobby-Bulin. If you remember the Bulin wall and net in the 2004 postseason run for the Lightning there when they were Cup champs in 2004. Vasilevsky has been unbelievable. Ben Bishop was a fan favorite here in net for the Lightning. It was tough to see him traded away a few years ago, but Steve Yzerman and Julien Brisebois knew they had what an unbelievable star there waiting in the wings in Andrei Vasilevsky, and he's blossomed into the best goaltender in all of hockey.
Okay, I see it being handed off onto the jet ski. Am I seeing this correctly, guys? Yes. Woo,
There's that's the Stanley Cup getting handed
handed off, which we saw last time, right? We saw last time it being, driven around on a jet ski as well, which,
I do like the gentle handoff as opposed to the toss from boat to boat. That was methodical, and I do like it. Look at that massive yacht, by the way. The Starship making an appearance out here with you. As you can see, the Stanley Cup champions banner right there along the side. Oh, we have a jet ski sighting.
That's what I'm saying. It was handed off to the jet ski.
Looks like we've got a little dock talk hanging out here for the parade. That's Alex Killorn on his jet ski with the Stanley Cup. If you remember back in September, that became one of the iconic images of that September parade. And here we go again, a little Stanley Cup on dock talk.
And of course, we as we watch this, that iconic time, of course, you're talking about when he lifted it over his head. Again, when you realize how much it weighs, it's pretty impressive that they're able to do it over and over and over again. Look at the pirate ship. Love it. Love this.
And what a vantage point for a lot of these fans on the water, too. If you are lucky enough to be out here, and we've got a couple boats docked where we are here up at Armature Works, waiting for a glimpse and a sight of the Stanley Cup. They're going to be able, especially on that jet ski, to weave in and out, to say hello to the fans, to wave, to give this Lightning faithful really the show that they deserve, cheering this team on. They were the distant Thunder last year when this team was in the bubble. They were able to come back. Think about it, Carolina. For game 1 of the season, you had less than 3,000 fans inside Amalie. When they were able to win in Game 5, 18,600 inside that arena to witness that celebration on the ice, hoisting Lord Stanley over their head. Unbelievable, really, year when you encapsulate what this city, what this country, what this team has had to beat through to be able to be champs again.
Especially when you consider, as you said, that first game, we did not really know how the season was going to end when it came to how many fans would be allowed inside Amalie Arena and inside all the different stadiums. It's just amazing that they were, obviously able to win this, but also to win it with so many fans surrounded by them. And the beauty of this is that this is their time, right? This is their time to shine. They're absolute stars, obviously, but also this is their opportunity to really look those fans in the eyes and really say thank you for everything that you've done and for being there with us, because, it must help knowing, hearing the cheers, hearing your fans cheer you on, really has to give you quite a bit of energy on the ice.
I mean, I'll tell you, I was there for that Game 4 watch party when they were on the road in Montreal, and I kept looking at the ice, thinking there was a game on the ice because the energy inside the building was so electric. I had never, I get chills thinking about it right now. I'd never experienced that for an away watch party, to have that kind of energy and the crowd inside the arena. Again, you're looking at the jet ski here, Alex Killorn carrying the Stanley Cup as these guys are starting to get these boats corralled, and hopefully this parade will get going here in the next 15, 20 minutes or so. But consider Killorn, who had a broken leg, okay, and thought about coming back. He had a rod inserted into his leg, thought about coming back to play if there was going to be a Game 6 and a Game 7. That's the kind of competitor that he is, and I just worry about his leg. Just be careful, Killer, if you're lifting that thing over your head. Again, a little bit of heavy there on that jet ski. But the ultimate competitor, Alex Killorn, one of the glue guys for this team, he laid out really to take a puck to the leg, which was the reason why he got that injury. And there he is, saluting the fans, lifting Lord Stanley over his head to give those guys a good view.
Oh, that's amazing. And Ryan, you brought up how we have the players' jerseys or numbers, along the boat. I just saw Vinnick on the very large yacht, as well as John Cooper's name on the side too. So hopefully this will start getting underway in the next few minutes. But yeah, this is what the fans came out here for. Look how close he's getting to the fans. Look how excited they are just to be that close, to be able to A, see him, and B, see the Stanley Cup this close on a jet ski on the water.
And Carolina, that's what to me makes this type of parade so special. Instead of it being basically on a Bayshore Boulevard and when you're kind of in one lane on a road, these guys get to kind of maneuver around. They get to get up close and personal with the fans, to be able to thank them for what they contributed to this run this year, and to just thank them for their support. And again, look at you see all the camera phones out there. Everybody wants a snapshot of Killer in the Cup, and just an incredible moment for those fans. Alex
look,
Killorn,
it looks like there's some champagne going there. Is that what
there's
I'm
going to be lots of champagne poured at this parade. I can promise you that. Alex said on Friday when he was asked about these boat parades, he said, quote, "I think being in Florida and in Tampa, we're in a unique situation that we're able to do it on boats. And I think once we did it on boats, a lot of us thought, why would you have it done any other way than this? And maybe it took COVID for us to realize how cool it really was." And let me tell you, it is really cool to watch this parade. That it happened in September 285 days ago, and now doing it again, it's just that much more special.
Yeah, it's so special. It's so special for the fans to be able to see that.
This is a much closer vantage point here as we've got a crew on one of these boats on the water here close to these guys, so you can get an even better shot. You're going to find no better view of this parade than with us right here on 10 Tampa Bay. But getting these guys corralled again near Davis Islands as they start to make their way up the Riverwalk here is definitely no easy task to get that done, Carolina. But we've got crews up and down the Riverwalk. Yeah. So again, if you guys are asking, okay, how can we get every vantage point? I want to be able to see every second of this parade. We got you covered. We're up in the air. We're at different points spread out all along the Riverwalk. Again, our crew here, Carolina and I, are down here at Armature Works. We've got Evan and Ben, which are going to be at Rick's on the River when these guys get off. We've got you covered for the after party there, Julian B. Lane. It's going to be quite a special show here, so I'm glad you're joining us for this back-to-back Parade of Champions.
Absolutely, and you heard Tweelon Winner a little earlier. She's with fans just right there, right along the Riverwalk, and she just was able to get a feeling of what it's been like for them to be out here today, to be able to celebrate. I got to tell you, sometimes we get cheers from this crowd, not only because they're excited to see the players, but every once in a while we get a little bit of a cool breeze that comes through. Very nice. And you can hear people like, yes, we've got a little bit of a breeze. So not a bad day. It's a little hot, but not bad.
And I saw that Bobby D and our 10 weather team had talked about we should be clear really up until 2 o'clock where we could have some scattered showers. So let's get this parade going.
Yes,
let's make sure that it's dry here throughout as these guys start to make their way through. Oh, look at this. See, now we've got football and hockey mixed in here. You got tosses from boat to boat. And I believe that's Andre Vasilevsky. I can't get a good look from over here, but you got footballs being tossed around as they get an opportunity to kind of interact with the fans. And this is where I think Tom Brady would make an appearance, right? Because he's got the arm to go from boat to boat.
You would think. You would think he'd be right there like, okay, right over here, toss it over this way. But at least it's a football for now.
Oh, unbelievable sight here. These fans just tossing this thing around and getting an opportunity to interact with these guys, to say hello. This has been a 5-day bender for a lot of these players. So they made it out here for this early Monday morning parade down the Hillsborough River. Again, remember last year the parade kind of happened a little bit later on in the day. You had that iconic shot down here by Armature Works of the sunset in the Stanley Cup. Not going to get it this year, middle of the day, but definitely going to be an awesome sight to see as these guys get started here along the Hillsborough River.
Yeah, and we continue to try to, give you different perspectives, right? Like, that was really cool looking from behind the fans, right, that are standing on land to give you an idea of what it is that they're seeing, right? Because we keep showing from the helicopter, from our chopper, but also from the ground, from behind them, to get a feeling of, like, this is how close they really are to the players. This is what they get to see, just the fun that they're having right now.
You see the boat there by head coach John Cooper. And what a job, a masterful job he's done since taking this over this organization back in 2013. Brought in here. Remember, this is a guy, Carolina, who played lacrosse at Hofstra, okay? Played 1 year of club hockey in college. 1 year of club hockey. He went to Wall Street. He was a trader on Wall Street. Then he went to law school at Thomas Cooley Law School, earned his law degree. He wanted to be a sports agent. That's what John Cooper wanted to be in his career. He was earning $1,000 a week as a public defender, and then got a call from a friend who was a judge in Michigan that said, hey, how about you come coach this high school hockey team? We want you to come coach this team and get an opportunity to spend some time with the guys. He took that job, and he parlayed that up through the ranks in the minor leagues, the AHL, the Syracuse affiliate, Norfolk affiliate here for the Lightning, and was able to be hired by the team in March of 2013. He is just the second coach in his first 10 years on a bench to win 2 Stanley Cups. What an unbelievable calming influence John Cooper has been.
And when you walk through his career and everything that he's done so far, you just start thinking to yourself, all those little pieces, all those different career choices, pieces of the pie, everything that he's done throughout his career, how that served him well for this team, right? We always think of just the coaching aspect of it, but then you think about his time on Wall Street. What does that do with understanding the money end of this, right? Because this is not just coaching a sport. There's a lot involved to being a part of a massive franchise like this, and then, of course, winning a Stanley Cup.
And there you go. Cups getting handed off from jet ski to boat.
Yeah.
These guys are just having a blast out here as they get to celebrate with the fans.
And there goes the football again.
I believe that's Anthony Sorelli who's tossing the football right here. Again, hard to see from my vantage point here at the back. But you've got these guys on the boats. You've got families with them. And that's the cool thing, too. If you remember, for Game 4 in Canada, the families weren't allowed to go across the border and to be able to be there for Game 4. So had this team won the Cup in overtime in Game 4, those families wouldn't have been able to celebrate with them. They got to win it in Game 5 on the ice in front of their fans. Families are on the boats. It's just an unbelievable time to be able to share in this, not just with your team, not just with your coaching staff, but with everybody in this community.
And then when you look at the restrictions between countries too, right? It's not like football where we're all playing in the U.S. They're playing teams in Canada. So, there are different rules and then obviously different states as well. As we went through COVID, we saw some of the protocols being very different from state to state. So you add all of those layers to what this season was like for these players, and there were a lot of nuances that they had to get through in order to wrap this up. So a lot to it, a lot that they had to do to get here today.
What an unbelievable scene here again as we're celebrating our Stanley Cup champions back-to-back, the youngest franchise to go back-to-back in the NHL over the last 30 years. This Bolts team, again, as I mentioned off the top of the show, only Detroit with 4 cups has won more than the Lightning with 3 since they became a franchise in the NHL. And I want to give a shout out to Jeff Vinik for a second.
Yeah.
Again, the reason we're having this parade on Monday, Jeff Vinik's son got married over the weekend.
Yeah.
You want the owner of the franchise to be here. They moved it to Monday so he could participate. Since he bought this franchise just over a decade ago, they went from one of the worst teams in hockey, one of the worst attended teams in hockey, to selling out over 100 consecutive sellouts for this franchise. As Bobby had mentioned, they set the record for an NHL playoff game as far as attendance is concerned when it was at the Thunderdome. Since Jeff Vinik has taken over this franchise, they have just been flooded with not only finances to make this work, but look what he's done with Water Street.
Yeah.
I mean, this is becoming a booming metropolitan city on the backs of that man right there who has dedicated his time and his resources moving down from Boston to really immerse himself in this community and make it his own. This team, this franchise would not be this successful without Jeff Vinik's ownership and guidance.
Well, you think about the vision it would take to do that and then to implement it, right? It's the combination, being able to make that happen and to really, catapult the city. I mean, we've seen it change drastically over the last decade. Some of the new buildings we've seen here, it's just incredible to see. And, people who live here are just fortunate to live here. And then you start seeing, of course, now with COVID, we got a lot of people moving down here.
We do.
And you add our teams, and it's just an easy sell to move to the Tampa Bay area.
Look at this great shot, Carolina, as you see the fans lined up on the bridge, as they're just trying to get a glimpse of these guys on the boats. Again, You see a lot of boats together. You see a lot of boats kind of crisscrossing. Not easy to get these guys situated, but they're trying to round these guys up, get them up the Riverwalk here. These fans patiently waiting at Armature Works. And really, since we've gotten here, Carolina, we were here about 9 a.m. It's been an unbelievable scene here at Armature Works as more and more fans start lining up.
Oh, sorry, the American flag fell in the water, so everybody's trying to help them get it. Okay, yeah.
You got a bunch of fans lined up behind us. Police out here making sure that the parade route is clear, and that way these guys can get going here. Man,
especially we don't know as they
unreal.
come down this way. We're not sure. And, you know, they may circle. You said last time they circled right in close to the fans. So
oh, they're going to want to.
They're going to want to come right
to
from
the wall.
Yeah.
They're going to want to say hi and come up as close as they certainly can to these fans here and say hello.
Yeah. Plenty of lightning flags here along Armature Works, as well as, of course, along the parade route. You can see there the downtown Tampa's view from above. So many boats, so many people excited to be there. But again, yeah, law enforcement out here just making sure that we're all safe. We're all having a good time, but everyone is safe today out on the water.
Ryan Bass and Carolina Lead here with you. We went to Allison and Bobby, who are stationed there right near the convention center and the Westin. There again by American Social and Jackson's. We've got crews up and down the Riverwalk. We'll continue to get to them. Again, Ben and Evan are down here at the end of the parade route as they're going to take some of our coverage down there when the guys start getting moving. So we've got you covered here on 10 Tampa Bay. Guys, for those of you watching, just so glad you're here with us, taking in this moment. Savor it. Enjoy it, Lightning fans. For those of you that have taken off of work and are just saying, you know what? You don't get to do this very often. I'm going to take off of work and enjoy myself. We're so happy you're joining us. For those of you that are at work and you're shaking your mouse there to make sure your boss sees that you're active. We understand. We know what you're doing.
It's fine.
We know what you're doing. But this is such an experience to be a part of. And you're taking a live look there on the left of your screen. There, that downtown Tampa shot of that Stanley Cup being hoisted on there. It's going to go from boat to boat. It's going to be passed around. We already saw the Lombardi Trophy and the Conn Smythe make an appearance too. These guys are having fun. It's truly how special this is to be able to partake in yet another Stanley Cup Championship Boat Parade.
I assume the key to today for them is to try to pace themselves. Is that even a thing? Like, just like, oh, it's going to be a long day.
I tend to find that in my experience covering sports for over a decade in this business, hockey players are some of the most resilient and some of the best in terms of livers. These guys can certainly party. They can have a good time. They know how to pace themselves. They are well conditioned from their past. So, keep in mind, think of a guy like Pat Maroon, okay? Mm-hmm. 3 Stanley Cup wins in a row. He's the first player in NHL history to win 3 straight Stanley Cups with 2 different franchises. This is a guy who's done this 3 years in a row now. He is well conditioned and knows how to handle himself for a celebration in a championship parade.
Oh my goodness, yeah. So as we look at this perched view, of course, of the Hillsborough River and all the fans, one thing that the Lightning did say, which I think was key, right, is just, and they said a little earlier today, is that they really wanted the fans to spread out, right? Like, just, there, of course, are spots everyone wants to be. Armature Works is an example of that. This is a great location. Of course, you've got the restaurants here. You have a bathroom nearby if you need it.
Yes.
But, they really wanted people to be on both sides so that as the players, as the team, as the coaches and so forth, and the owners, of course, make their way down, you can see on both sides, and fans, can be a part. And it just really makes it bigger when we can spread out. But yeah, no, the crowd here is absolutely incredible here at Armature Works, both on the water as well as on land. You see people perched here on the seawall, just waiting, really excited about this, really, and of course, a lot of them in the shade, some of them picking the right spot to try and be in a little bit of shade as we wait to see the players make their way down towards us.
I do like we got some of the signs behind us here, strike twice. What an incredible pun for the Lightning, because Lightning does strike twice here, back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. Again, Carolina and I are down here at Armature Works. Let's head over to downtown Tampa, again, near the convention center. That's where Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins and Allison Croft are hanging out. You guys have a ton of boats around you guys. Man, people are waiting to party with the Cup.
Yeah, we actually do. We're at Tampa General Hospital, so we're right across the river from the convention center, and we've just seen Stanley Cup come through and all of the boat parade. We do want to let you know just real quick, we don't have a lot of information about this, but we're told that the parade is temporarily on hold right now. They were looking at an unauthorized boat. They were just paying a little attention to one of these boats. That's all we really know, but it's just on pause for a couple of minutes while they figure that out. We're working to get more information about it. As soon as we do, we'll let you know. But certainly the mood is electric when you're down here on the water.
They've been passing the cup, and I think they've been passing it back to back because we've been seeing it in front, and it actually worked its way back towards American Social again onto Jeff Vinnick's boat, which is actually now getting closer to the convention center, but just
Which
an incredible
is great
scene out
because
here.
there's so many people lined along the convention center and up along by American Social. So even to see Alex Killorn on his jet ski being able to go right along with the fans and get that close to the Stanley Cup and giving some fist bumps and really like enjoying that time.
They literally went right up against the crowd. You saw Kucherov on the back of Killorn's jet ski fist bumping fans from the water that were standing on the edge. That's amazing. The Platt Street Bridge is now up. The Starship boats are going through there now. That'll likely be up for a while as everything is going through. If you can see the sea of humanity, if you will, right?
Yeah.
It's understandable that a boat can get too close. Boats are starting to get a little bumpy, and so that's what they said right now. They kind of put it on pause.
And if you were bringing your personal boat out, you knew where the parade route was. You're supposed to stay back from it. You can't go along with the parade. You're just supposed to be watching. So they're just checking out a boat that maybe was in the wrong spot, making sure everything's okay so that this can continue and everybody can have a great time.
And boy, has it been nice out here too. Just
it's a perfect boat day. On a Monday, nonetheless, right?
Look at all
what
these
a
people.
great Monday.
There it is. Look at the cup.
Somebody come over from Tampa General Hospital. That's where we are. They just told us that any of the patients that are here that were able to get to a window, they brought them over to the window, so they're lined up in the hospital getting to sit and watch the boat parade as it goes by. Isn't that wonderful?
We've seen some of the frontline heroes down here on the Riverwalk, or this side of the Riverwalk, if you will, taking pictures and checking it out on their breaks.
Helicopter medic team that is out here, and they've been out here watching the boat parade as well.
We've got a Stanley Cup made out of, looks like Coors Light cans, I think.
Definitely out of cans. We're not exactly sure what kind, but this Stanley Cup has been out here. They built it. They did a very good job making it look real.
Once the Starship boats go by, I think what has happened before, like was a boat getting too close, is as soon as it goes through, people just kind of fill in the void. And it was moving up the convention center area there now.
Got the pirate ship out here with those massive Stanley Cup champions flags. So they just put the Stanley Cup on another boat, so they're passing it around a little.
Oh, it's amazing. It's just so great for these guys to be able to do this after such a long season. And you know, Julian B. Lane later, they'll be speaking too. I just can't wait to see that. That's
to hear what they have to say and to hear the fans cheer from Julian B. Lane, since so many people are allowed to head out there as well.
So if you're back up river a little bit, those locations are starting to quiet down. Everybody's kind of funneling down into this area right here between TGH and the convention center. It has gotten a lot crowded as the kind of the parade is following the cup down there.
Like you said, some of the boats not following the parade necessarily, but filling in a little bit as we start to see whichever boat the Stanley Cup is on. That seems to be where people are kind of funneling, and you start to see them moving around a little bit in front of the convention center.
Tiki huts are out here. Those floating tiki huts, they're packed. We've seen several of those. That's a great day to rent one of those for sure. Lots of boats. We're seeing, we've got this boat over here called Breakaway. And this is a personal boat that's obviously hockey themed and just incredible. Incredible amount of people out here.
All the bolts, flags, and
I think this year to me seems a little bit more crowded than what it did last year, boat-wise. Oh, look at this view. What a great view coming down the river. So that is on the other side now of the Platt Street Bridge.
So that just went under the Platt Street Bridge, that's right. So that's coming up and getting a little bit closer to downtown. And we've kind of noticed that the Starship was making way for the other boats, and the Stanley Cup boat in particular, to be able to come down through the river and head into downtown.
Well, you can clearly see none of those boats are going anywhere.
Nope, they're stuck.
The Cup is right on the bow of the small boat in the center right there. So it's going to be here for a little while until they get things situated, get cleared out. The law enforcement presence obviously has been clear, especially along the route. But everybody's been, what we've seen is pretty tame. It's amazing you get this many boats together and people aren't banging each other.
I know, my goodness. It kind of makes you a little anxious watching these boats these close together. I certainly have been anxious watching the boats as they've lined up throughout the day today, just making sure that everybody is following the rules and staying, safe out here on the Hills.
So that dock you see on the right, that's the convention center. So if you've been out here for a boat show, anything like that, just coming out here in the evening, you'll be able to see that's where that location is now. So across the river directly from us.
We've got a little bit of a boat jam going on over
definitely.
there at this point.
They're selling boiled peanuts. They're selling fruit. They got all kinds of stuff, advertisements out here on the river. They're taking advantage of it today.
Yeah, they were out here selling ice, like slushies. There was a boat. But this is great where they're actually stopped and they're able to to look at the fans that have lined up at American Social and along the bridge over by the convention center, if that's where they're getting a moment, you know, that they're sitting there being able to hoist the Stanley Cup, that's not a bad spot to stop with everybody that can see them.
Yeah, and supposedly, as a player, when you win the cup, you're supposed to have a day with the cup, your own personal day. We actually heard of a couple players that didn't get that last year.
Really?
So it's really good to get the cup today spread around to as many of the players on the boats that are out there right now. So at least they get that as their, look at that.
That's a great moment for this Tampa Bay Lightning team and for the community.
Wow.
We're going to continue to watch this boat parade. Our coverage of back-to-back Parade of Champions is going to continue. Don't worry, we're going to allow you to continue to watch live coverage of this parade. We'll be right back.
The Lightning.
Day here for Lightning fans. I'm Carolina Lead here with Ryan Bass. Really an exciting day here along the water for fans as we celebrate the Stanley Cup win. Real quick, we've had some fans asking, where are the boats? Where are they? Well, we have learned that they're on pause right now. We have a pause because of some sort of unauthorized vessel that was in the area that they had to clear out of there. We don't know much about what that means or what happened, but they had to put the parade on pause while they clear up that situation.
So that's our reporting from 10 Tampa Bay's Bo Zimmer, who says the mayor spotted an unauthorized vessel that was basically anchored out in the middle of the parade route. So once they get that boat cleared, they'll be ready to go here up the Hillsborough River. And these fans at Armature Works who are hot, they're in the sun, they want to see the Stanley Cup. Well, hopefully just in a little bit this parade will start getting underway here. But we talked about just how special this is, and just taking a live look right now from Sky 10 over the parade route, and these boats kind of just starting to get corralled here. This is the third championship boat parade. Third championship boat parade in 285 days, okay?
Less than a year.
Unbelievable run. This is the quickest span from 282 days over 3 championships in major pro sports since Detroit in 1935-36. This doesn't happen, ladies and gentlemen. We are special, we are spoiled. Tampa Bay, as our moniker has now become, we're living up to that nickname for sure.
So many times we talk about making history, and this team really has made history when you put it in perspective like that for the fans. I mean, this doesn't happen. This really doesn't happen. So many cities would love to be in our position right now, obviously with the wins, but also with a boat parade like this, and with players that are just so much fun. I mean, you just think about all the debauchery, the fun things that they've done after this win, and they've had what is it, 5 days now since a win? So yeah, it's been fun. Oh, you're looking at the
so I just want to show you some of the memorabilia that we've got out here from our fans. What was your name? Tori. All right, so our friend Tori
got it.
Look at this. Bobby, Allison, you guys got to be jealous, okay? we got the cup with us. I mean, this is look at this. Tori has a nice inflatable Stanley Cup here. Now, this weighs a little bit lighter than 34.5 pounds, so this would be easy to toss from boat to boat.
It would be easy, but it would probably fly up in the air.
I'll hold on to this tight. I promise I won't toss it into the water, Tori, okay? But I love it. Fans have, we saw that Allison and Bobby talked about, the Coors Light Cup, where you had those Coors Light bottles. You got the inflatable cup here. We've seen tin foil cups out at the watch parties. Tori, thank you so much. I appreciate you letting us borrow that for a second. I just kind of wanted to show just creativity. I love it. The fans celebrating Tampa Bay and the embrace of this Tampa Bay Lightning team. They talked about it before. We heard from some of the fans that Tweelon Wynn had down at Marjorie Park was, this is a hockey town. You can't argue that fact anymore. New York, Boston, are you hearing me? This is Hockey Town, USA, baby.
Well, you know, growing up here, we always used to hear, and you probably did as well, people say, well, hockey in Florida, what is that about? And I'm like, just stop what you're saying. But no, I mean, now it's like, it's undeniable. It really is undeniable now that you have this team here and what they've been able to do.
Well, and you had the first ever all-Florida Stanley Cup playoff series when the Lightning and the Panthers played in the first round. Those two teams, by the way, were battling for and really flip-flopping for the top of that division, the Central Division presented by Discover. So truly an unbelievable year this year, but that series in itself just proved hockey in Florida. It's electric. These fans will tell you, we got thousands of people lined up here just to see a glimpse of the Stanley Cup. They love their Tampa Bay Lightning here.
And it's so fun to see the kids. We've got a couple of kids sitting right next to us right now, and it's just so amazing to see, you know, their families. This really is a family thing, right? That when you're able to go and watch this team with your kids and bring them up, these are memories they're going to have as adults, and they're going to take, there we go, they're going to take their kids. So it's just so fun to be a part of this.
And that's the cool thing. You know, I remember talking to some people that were there in 2004 that got an opportunity to experience that cup run. Actually, my girlfriend's first ever Stanley Cup game was Game 7 of the 2004 season, where they hoisted the cup. She's spoiled. She says, I don't know if I'll ever go to a better hockey game again. But you think about those memories. You have a generation of Bolts fans that are growing up now that have seen 3 Stanley Cups since 2004. I mean, what an unbelievable time to be in this city, to be cheering on this team, to be a part of this franchise and be the Thunder here and embrace. And that's what I think this team does, and this city really does, with the Bucks and the Rays, the embrace of Tampa Bay and the fans. But the Lightning specifically, their Be the Thunder campaign, they have electrified their fan base. They have built a loyalist group of fans that will spend their money on season tickets, that will come out and sell out games. And that's what I love about this franchise specifically. The connection they have with the fan base is unlike any other.
And what's so fun about it, you compare 2004 to now, just social media and that element, right? So fans are there watching, and you're posting immediately. You're like at Tampa Bay Lightning, and you'll get a response from the team or from, you know, the people running.
Well, the guys will share it too, which is cool.
So there really is this connection now between players, coaches, members of the staff there and their fans, because it's not just, oh, you have to go to the game. There's that connection there. There's an immediate, whether you be on Instagram, on Facebook, whatever social media platform, there really is that fun that you never know when a player is going to hit you back. You had a weird situation like that with Dwayne Wade. You never know.
Yeah, Dwayne Wade commented on my Instagram, and I will never, ever live that moment down.
He died
unbelievable.
Real quick that
Born
day.
and raised in Miami, you have to, right? County of Wade.
Yeah.
This is just a great shot right here from Sky 10 as you're looking over the boats. Again, here near Davis Islands, as they're starting to get situated and get themselves organized here. Looks like that's the Sail Pavilion as we look over here. You've got Jackson's and you've got American Social, the convention center over there as well. Truly just an unbelievable shot. Don't we live in paradise, Carolina? We talk about it all the time. I mean, this shot right here, you know, my good friend Rob Higgins of the Tampa Bay Sports Commission, the Tampa Sports Commission, always talks about how this is a postcard for our city. This is going everywhere right now. People are seeing just how beautiful and how lucky we are to live in Tampa Bay and how lucky we are to have our Super Bowl champions, our Stanley Cup back-to-back champions, the Rays who went to the World Series, the Rowdies who went to their cup as well. So an unbelievable time just to be a part of this sports
And I just
scene.
love how the two cities, St. Pete and Tampa, have really made things easy. I mean, you think about people who take the ferry across, just how easy it is from downtown St. Pete.
It'll be in a few years too.
It's just, it's amazing. And you hear from people who are like, oh, it was so easy for me to go to a game. I didn't have to drive there. So really things are set up in such a way where, you know, you're able to support the team. Even if you don't go to the game itself at Amalie, you can go to the bars and restaurants and so forth in Tampa in order to
So we got a
enjoy.
couple of beverages. We got a couple of beverages being sipped out of the cup now, which I would say has happened from time to time here over the last couple of days. These guys enjoying themselves.
Bo Zimmer on the phone right now, who's going to talk to us think about that vessel.
So, Bo, give us an update. The mayor, I know that the parade had been on pause because the mayor identified a boat that wasn't supposed to be there. What can you tell us?
Yeah, I just wanted to give you a quick rundown. I'm watching from my perch up here at the Sheraton over the Riverwalk. Beautiful view out here. But as you said, there was a momentary pause in the parade. And here's what happened. I think a boat had put their anchor a little bit too far out into the channel. So the boat was out of the way, but their line and their anchor was too far out. And when the mayor's boat, the first boat in the parade, approached that area, the police stopped everything. They actually had the boat pull up. They were able to pull their anchor out of the water and then move back a little bit further. And that was the only issue. It was a very minor pause. The traffic is moving once again. Although I will say there is a ton of traffic, especially as you come up to some of these smaller built bridges along the Hillsborough River, where you just have so many boats trying to squeeze through. Police are doing a tremendous job out here trying to keep everyone in line, though.
So, Bo, I had a question for you because you're You love this city, right? I mean, your grandparents' history, you know, the Zimmer family here in Tampa Bay, obviously a big baseball family, but you love this city, Bo. How special is this? Can you just encapsulate from your vantage point to be able to celebrate yet again our 3rd championship boat parade in 11 months? How special is this?
And you have to realize, I grew up here in this town when the Buccaneers, our football team was the laughing stock of the NFL. We didn't have a hockey team when I was a kid. We finally got a baseball team, but for the first 8 years of their existence, they weren't very good either for a long time. So to now have what we can call Tampa Bay, I mean, this is just so surreal. And to watch what's happening in front of me right now is just so special. You know, some of the boats are going by, and they're coming right along the Riverwalk, and they're checking out beers to some of the fans in the crowd. This is just such a great day for Tampa, the entire Tampa Bay area, whether you're from St. Pete like I am, Tampa, Sarasota, anywhere in the Bay Area. This is just a tremendous day.
Bo, you've seen a lot change over the years. I'm just wondering what it feels like and what it looks like. Talk about some of the changes when it comes to the buildings, the hotels, just the skyline, how things have changed on both sides of the bay.
When I was growing up, downtown Tampa was not a place that you wanted to be. It was a place with a few tall buildings, and you might have had some attorneys' offices and some other businesses downtown. But after 5 o'clock, you couldn't even find a Subway to go get somewhere to eat. Now, this is a vibrant city. And the one thing, and I don't know who you want to credit, if it's Pam Iorio or any of our previous mayors, but they really, and especially Bob Buckhorn, really took charge of trying to revitalize the river. And that's what we're seeing here today. You know, so many communities across the country have really realized how special their waterways are, whether it be Louisville, Kentucky, or even, you know, different cities that have water, but you know, it's kind of more of an industrial purpose. Now, this is a place that people can enjoy and walk along every single day and night of the year. And then to have something as iconic as this parade along the riverfront. And as you guys were saying earlier, this puts us on the map, the international map. People are watching this, or will at least see some highlights from this parade all around the world, and they're going to know what a special place Tampa Bay is.
All right, Bo Zimmer, thank you so much for that update on that vessel that they were having to move out of the area, but also really that perspective that Bo was able to give us because he grew up here. You know, he really knows the Tampa Bay area, and it's great to hear where it was as a child for him and now, and the big changes that we've seen here. It's really incredible if you look at it. And then he mentioned some of the people, the players who made that happen. He mentioned former Mayor Bob Buckhorn, but you brought up Vinnick and that family and what they've done here as well. There's so many hands that make a city great and make a city get to this point. But again, you know, it's worth mentioning yet again those players and what they did, the vision they had to bring us to where we are today.
I mean, it truly is special. And you mentioned the Vinnick family. This is a team effort, you know, and Vinnick Sports Group, I have to give a shout out to them as well because they have truly turned this city into a city of champions, led by the specialty of Jeff Vinnick. So, I mean, we've got team coverage, as I said, Carolina, up and down the Riverwalk. I want to go to Ben, our Evan Klosky and our Ben Murphy right now. 10 Sports is Evan Klosky and Ben Murphy, and you guys have a pretty cool vantage point from one of the bridges here too.
Yeah, we're here in Julian B. Lane Park, and we're on the bridge, the Laurel Street Bridge, and actually that Russian boat of Andrei Vasilevsky, Mikhail Sergachev, and Nikita Kucherov just rolled through, and they rolled through shirtless.
Yeah, hockey works in Florida because we brought the 3 best Russian hockey players to Florida. Partying on a boat works in Florida because we brought the 3 best Russian hockey players to Florida. I mean, they're going wild child down there.
Yeah, you know, we spent about an hour and a half or so out here waiting for this surge of players to come through.
Slowly but surely.
And we just saw Kucherov in that boat throwing shirts to the fans alongside the river here as they continue to make their way down the Hillsborough River. And also just the importance of those players on that boat, as we saw Steven Stamkos and Victor Hedman and Luke Schenn make their way a little bit earlier, but Nikita Kucherov, the post-game press conference this guy had, and of course he was also the 6th NHL player ever to repeat as the points leader in back-to-back postseasons. It was the first time it's ever been done since 1992, and Vasilevsky wins the Conn Smythe for the MVP of the playoffs. First time a goalie has won it in 9 years.
It's cool that because the numbers are great when you get Vazzy, who's clinched the last 5 series all the way back to the Dallas Stars Stanley Cup Finals last year to open up. I mean, these guys are pretty straight and narrow in the press conferences throughout the season. And then when they win it all, the beers start flowing and they start talking to us. So it is cool to not only have a communal event like this in the city when you win the cup and you get to have all of Tampa, all of St. Pete down here, but it really gets another side of the players out. And we don't get that very often. And so while it's cool to enjoy the win and enjoy the cup, enjoy seeing this side of the players because it doesn't come often.
And the players are enjoying this too. John Cooper has mentioned how this is the last day of school type mentality as they were going through the playoffs. Steven Stamkos even told us after winning the Stanley Cup how important it was to repeat because these guys in the locker room know that this is the last time that they'll be together forever. We know the salary cap issues this team has, and they're navigating it in the offseason, and things are going to change. That's why today is so important. And when talking with the players on Friday, when we asked them questions about, hey, what are you going to be doing in free agency? Do you want to be back? All of them said, we're not thinking about that. They want to enjoy the moment today, and that is exactly what's happening. Mentioning Nikita Kucherov, just a microcosm of what this team does. He played with a fractured rib that he sustained in Game 6 of the playoffs against the Islanders. Remember, he didn't play that entire game. He played one shift and left the contest. He played throughout the playoffs. He actually had injections flying back from Canada after Game 3 to make sure that he can still play in Game 4 and then Game 5 as well. And we have been seeing with this team.
He's not the only one.
Exactly.
Fighting through injury, and it's going to come out more officially.
Here's what we know is Alex Killorn had a fractured fibula that he was willing to play in Game 6 or Game 7. He's going to take about 3 to 4 weeks to recover from. Other rumors that we've heard, Ryan McDonough, broken hand. Anthony Cirelli, broken hand. Victor Hedman, going to need knee surgery. He should be ready to go for camp. These are all the things that are just floating out there. And really, when talking with David Savard on Friday, he mentioned coming to this team and how that was the realization that was made, making sure that this group was a winner, was how everyone in that locker room was willing to sacrifice to get right back to this moment. And what a day it is.
And when you play in sports that have a salary cap or a limit and you have so much talent, the talent eventually has to get paid. And when young talent starts to cycle through, the old talent starts to fade off. And for this moment, you got to really love it for guys like Steven Stamkos, one of the first guys we saw come through here, because from 2008 to now, he's been a heart and soul of this team, and he's just a winner. I mean, winning World Juniors, winning a gold medal. Now back-to-back Stanley Cups for him. It cements everything that he has put into this team, this city, his career. To be able to get it done because of the window that we talked about with a young core that is so up-and-coming talented. I mean, Point, Cirelli, Ross Colton, who scored the game winner in Game 5. Those guys are eventually going to get paid, and the older guard is eventually going to get phased out. So for that core group, the killer, Alex Killorn, for Stammer, to them to capitalize and shut the door on that window, it's awesome to see. And for them to enjoy it, I don't think the injuries right now are on the top of their mind, or who's going to get paid, or who's going to get taken from the up-and-coming franchise in Seattle. Right now, it's about celebrating with the city.
Yeah, the Suds help with the injuries as well. we have some players. We have some players coming down the river, and they're just going alongside all the fans here. Matthew Joseph, Anthony Cirelli, that boat making its way, and you hear the crowd going louder. You can see it right now on your screen.
Russians.
That's what a scene it is right here alongside.
Yeah, so those
Julian
things you
G. Lane
see
Park.
on that boat right there, that's the Conn Smythe, I believe.
Yeah,
and
not the one with the beer cans.
And then it looks like a replica Stanley Cup trophy that's wrapped in a beverage logo. And then there's Thunderbug in the mayor.
Yeah, and Thunderbug, it looks like having a great time as well.
How can you not? But good grief, you've got to be hot in that thing.
Yeah, Jane Castor.
Yeah,
having a heck of a time here. And she's the happiest person in this parade, by the way, because we all know that she stepped in some hot water before Game 4, saying, hey, look, Montreal, if you want to get a win here, and Lightning, you want to take it easy on the Canadiens, let's celebrate in our hometown and inside Amalie Arena. And of course, nobody ever wishes for losses, and that's why people were angry. And if this thing kept on going, she would have felt the heat. Having said that, those players, after talking with them, they all mentioned how special it was to celebrate in Amalie Arena and how much of a difference it was between last year to this year. John Cooper said it was like winning 2 different Stanley Cups to have that experience juxtaposed with the Edmonton bubble.
It is kind of cool to be able to prove that you can do it in 2 different ways, in front of nobody and in front of everybody. And we knew what the mayor was trying to say when she said it, but it didn't really, oh my goodness, didn't really come off the way I think the city wanted to embrace it. But the hot water was really avoided, and more importantly, Vinik got to be there. Jeff Vinik got to be there, and a guy who bought the franchise when it was worth $175 million a little over 10 years ago, and now it's almost 500 plus. What he's done for not only the team, the city, the medical program down there, Water Street, that is cool that he got to be there and see it get done, because the window was tight. A wedding, not being able to go to the Canadiens arena, the window was there and the storybook was written.
And look, we're seeing the Lord Stanley Cup. It has not gone into the river yet, which is great.
That's a tough toss.
We have not seen it get tossed yet. But the scene out here is electric. We just saw an entire party boat come right through. And I want to mention, because we got Anthony Cirelli, we got Matthew Jones, guys that I want to talk about as they make their way to Julian B. Lane Park, enjoying the scene out here with the fans. Anthony Cirelli, 24 years old on
Feels
Thursday.
like he should be 28 or 29 how long he's been here.
It's right. He's got a birthday coming up this week, and I think he's celebrating a little bit earlier. But, you know, we can't believe that this guy is still 24. He's been on the team for 3 full years now. Actually played with Eric Chernak in the Ontario Hockey League, so they had some familiarity growing up. And his notable moment was actually entering the playoffs with a 28-goal drought deficit, and he broke through that easily. And then also had a tremendous goal there in Game 2 against the Carolina Hurricanes. That was really important.
And then also helped set up a game winner to get them past the semifinals and into the Stanley Cup final that hit Yanni Gourde and finished off the Islanders. So, and not only do the stuff like that stand out, but he is so good on kills and on the forecheck, playing defensive up front, really. He doesn't always show up on the stat sheets like some of the other guys, like Braden Point, who's going to have to get paid at some point. He's the only guy in his lifetime to be the playoff goal leader solo 2 years in a row in his entire lifetime for how old he is at 25. That's impressive. So this young core, like we've been talking about, fantastic.
Yeah, and right now we're going to send over to Allison and Bobby as we're seeing Lord Stanley Cup make its round downtown here.
It's so cool.
What a scene it is, guys.
It absolutely is, and it is right behind us right now. We were just spotting it, and we were pointing and trying to make sure that we could see it for you guys, but it's right here.
Right at the base of the convention center, right directly behind us. It's just minutes away from getting inside, technically, the river going underneath the Platte Street Bridge. But they've done a really cool job with it because they've passed it around from boat to boat, to jet ski to boat, to boat to boat, and they did it mostly in this area right here in the basin here. And so it kind of went from the front to the back, and everybody's had a chance to see it, and it's been a show inside here.
We've been trying to spot it and looking at the video that we have from the parade and trying to see where it's been in front of American Social and Jackson's, and for a while it was in front of the convention center. So they have done a great job at making sure everybody's getting a chance to see it.
And it's been a slow go, but actually things are starting to pick up speed just a little bit now. Just about straight behind us here, you can see that blue advertisement there, where you see the words Tampa Convention Center. You can almost see that there. That's where it is now. So it won't be too long before it gets to the bridge. Boats slowed down, but last time we showed you that one shot, they were just stopped. Right? Everything was halted because of the anchor upstream just a little bit. That's over towards UT, and up on the left-hand side there, across from Curtis Hickson. Look at all the kayakers there. I mean, it is just...
You gotta be brave to be out on a kayak in the middle of all of these boats.
Poor Allison.
I am just panicking for all these poor people out here.
It's been something to see the boats not hit each other here while we've been going through.
I mean, it's controlled chaos. They really have done a great job at making it go through.
Coast Guard flying over in the background. I don't know if we got that shot there, but there it is. There is the cup, guys. Looks like they're getting ready to transfer it to another boat. Who is this here?
Do it gently.
Looks like they actually even have gloves on to be able to make the transfer. Yeah. So I wonder if Vegas had any over-under on whether or not it gets thrown, whether or not it gets thrown in the river.
Yeah. It's been such a conversation. 34 pounds. I don't know that they're wanting to throw that from boat to boat. All right, as they make that transition to the next boat, we're going to go back to Armature Works with Brian and Carolina. Hey, guys.
And the fans chanting. I mean, this is absolutely incredible. They were just passing us right here. There's a Stanley Cup. There are the players. It's been amazing.
Yeah, Nikita Kucherov, shirtless. Andrei Vasilevsky, shirtless. These guys, Mikhail Sergachev, shirtless.
To be
These
expected.
guys are having a blast right now on the boat. As we saw the Conn Smythe, the Lombardi Trophy made an appearance out here too. Those guys just surfing past us, getting a chance to say hi to the fans. We heard an MVP chant for Andrei Vasilevsky too. Again, Conn Smythe Award winner, MVP of the playoffs, back out here at Armature Works. Carolina Lead and Ryan Bass here with you. Finally, some action here at Armature. These fans have been waiting. They wanted to catch a glimpse of these guys. Finally starting to make their way up the river.
And we knew something was coming, of course, because we saw Sheriff Chad Chronister as well as Mayor Castor coming up, and it's like, oh, it's a matter of moments. They were right behind. But of course, the fans here started chanting, started going crazy. It was just really an amazing moment. But like you said, shirtless, 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 and shirtless.
Yeah, and as we talked about, there's no one that's partied hardier than hardier. There's no one that's partied harder than Nikita Kucherov has after winning the Stanley Cup. It's been really cool to see just these guys soaking it all in and enjoying the fun. And remember, they did this 285 days ago. This is their second go-around now here on the Hillsborough River as they get to celebrate and just cheer with the fans and get that love and appreciation that they so deserve. And Cooch, as you could tell, soaking it all in.
And they were popping champagne there in the front of the boat as well, having an amazing time. At one point, dancing on the boat. They're getting a little close to the edge for my liking, but it was I was waiting for it. And literally, today has been waiting for anybody going overboard. But nope, so far so good. Lots of fun, lots of waving, making sure that the fans know that they love them and they love the fact that they have stuck with this team throughout the entire season.
I do love we have some beer tosses going from boat to fans now out here at Armature Works. So definitely trying to make sure the fans are having as good a time out here as the players are. Again, we just saw a couple of boats come through. We're still waiting for the Stanley Cup. We do have a parade of players there behind us that are making their way down the Hillsborough River here. We'll be able to tell you more of the guys that are coming up here. Tyler Johnson, it looks like, is one of the guys here behind us on the boats. Ty Johnny, one of those guys, by the way. I just want to give him a shout out. This may be his last opportunity, his last go around with these guys. The Seattle Kraken have their expansion draft coming up on the 21st. Pretty likely the Spokane native is going to be drafted in the expansion draft by Seattle. Even if not, this was a guy who the Lightning tried to get him to waive his no-trade clause. He gave him a list of 8 to 9 teams to get a trade done with. They couldn't get one done. They put him on waivers. Nobody acquired him. And how lucky were the Lightning? Because Tyler gets to come back to the team, and then in Game 3 of this Cup final scores 2 goals in that Game 3 up in Montreal. Really an unbelievable run for Tyler Johnson. He's won at every level. And just a big shout-out to him because he was one of those core guys in that early run back in 2015, 2016, 2017. And if this is his last go-around, what a way to celebrate.
Yeah, but so tough decisions will have to be made, right, based on the salary cap, right?
And that's the thing. Remember, this team was $18 million over the salary cap. If Kucherov had played in the regular season, they would have had to get creative, and they wouldn't have had the same roster to start the Stanley Cup playoffs. Changes are coming. This is, as Evan talked about, as John Cooper has talked about, the last day of school kind of feeling with them. They know this is their last go-around, but they're going to soak it in. They're going to enjoy it. They're going to drink beer and champagne out of the Stanley Cup. They are going to enjoy this with the fans and go up and down here the Hillsborough River. And I'll tell you, the party after at Julian B. Lane, that's going to be a lot of fun, too, because if it's anything like it was at Raymond James Stadium last year, you'll remember Cooch and basically making Jeff Binnick drink beer out of a Bud Light can. Cooch had a blast last year. These guys are going to have fun.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. And Big Boy is expected to perform there as well as you hear him.
I like the Tampa Bay cheer. So you got some more of these boats making their way down. And again, these guys are taking their time, saying hi to the fans. And again, we got out here at 9 o'clock. This place was quiet. It is filled with thousands upon thousands of fans just trying to catch a glimpse of these guys. The Stanley Cup hasn't made its way past here yet. When it does, this place is going to go nuts.
I want to make just a quick mention. We saw Keep Tampa Bay Beautiful out here, picking up stuff out of the water. There's not much. It's pretty clean out here, but just want to quickly mention because they do really great work out here. So as we see boats pass by and we see players pass by as well.
And of course, there will be the occasional can that makes itself into the water. And
that's what they're
Keep
here
Tampa
for.
Bay Beautiful doing a great job so to make sure that our waterways are kept pristine and clean, as they certainly are. Again, guys making their way down the Hillsborough here. And what an unbelievable sight and scene for these fans celebrating back-to-back Stanley Cup championships. The Lightning, I believe, just the 4th team in the last 30 years. Yes, the 4th team, 3rd franchise in the last 30 years to celebrate back-to-back championships. This city we're spoiled. What can we say? We've got the beautiful weather. We've got amazing waterways. We've got back-to-back Stanley Cup champs. We've got guys with their shirts off celebrating with the cup. And I do like, again, how these fans get an opportunity to really celebrate with them here. You're taking a live look now. Alex Killorn and some of the guys here on their boats. I guess he must have put the jet ski away.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. It's just
or
like,
at least it might be trailing on the back of one of these here. But yeah, these guys are starting to make their way and float up here. And it just, yeah, I have to imagine. You think about the energy, the excitement, the adrenaline.
Yep.
The last 5 days for these guys since they won the cup on home ice, there is no greater feeling that taste of victory, but to be able to just revel in it.
And Ryan, you can see there, this is what you were talking about earlier, how they really make sure they try their best to get these boats right up next to the fans so that they can see the players as close as possible. Right now you can see it's making its way kind of into this little nook here near Armature Works where we are right now. Just as, you know, the players can get a chance to go ahead and wave and say hello, and of course the fans can go nuts and start chanting as well.
Matthew Joseph, Mitchell Stevens, Tyler Johnson, as well as it looks like Anthony Cirelli, all on that boat there behind us. So those guys are starting to move around here. Again, welcome back out here to Armature Works. Look at these cheers. Listen to these fans. They are so excited to be out here, having a great time on this Monday. Some of them called out sick. Some of them told their bosses, hey, sorry, got to celebrate a Stanley Cup Championship parade. And this is what they're out here for. A little Let's Go Bolts chant to show these guys some love.
Let's Go Bolts chant going on right now. And you can see some of the fans here on boats, and really the Sheriff's Department has made sure to keep them corralled in a certain area because they're not allowed to be a part of the parade, but they're able to sit here in the water. But yeah, look how close we are. Not far at all from the players right now here along the Hillsborough River.
You got these guys behind us that are rolling up right here behind us. Just a quick second before we toss to commercial. Yeah. You'll see these guys popping up here behind us. Tyler Johnson, Mitchell Stevens, Anthony Cirelli, Matthew Joseph. Man, what a time for these guys as they are celebrating. They're going to come here right behind us. There's Tyler Johnson.
And they're tossing Bud Lights. That's where we're at now. Yes.
Some of those beers that get
This is called winning.
Here they are behind us.
And there goes another one.
The championship.
Yep.
Tyler and the crew. What's up, guys? Matthew Joseph up there live on TV here right behind us as they're saying hi. Anthony Cirelli.
Wave at us.
How about Cirelli, by the way? Game 7 against the Islanders, scoring that goal.
Yeah.
Wow.
They are just having the time of their lives. Soak it in, guys. Soak it in.
Unbelievable. Back to back. Anthony Cirelli up here. Again, you see the twos throwing up the back-to-back to the fans, telling them what's up.
Can't even begin to imagine what this feels like for them. I think he's offering you a beer, Ryan, so if you need a Bud Light, that's all you.
You think I can catch it?
Yeah.
See, and now I get booed from the fans because I can't catch.
My hand was in the way. My hand was in the way.
That's what's happening.
We're fighting for it, actually.
Tossing the beer here to the fans as they're having a good time. I hope someone gets that fumble on video and makes a GIF out of it, by the way, because that's epic.
Yeah.
These guys just having a blast. Yeah. And you see all the different kinds of boats coming through, by the way. These guys, again, these are personal boats, some of them rented boats, some of the yachts you see out here, ownership and the likes. These guys, man, are they having a good time.
I feel bad. I got my hand in the way, and you could have gotten that beer. My bad.
It was a little slippery, I will say, a little cold. But yeah, that fumble on me. Sorry, guys. I'll own it.
All right, we'll be right back after this.
The Lightning Championship Parade on 10 Tampa Bay is sponsored by Tampa General Hospital. Other hospitals practice medicine. We define it.
Tampa General performs the region's most
Hello and welcome to Laurel Street Bridge here, right outside Julian B. Lane Park, where Alex Killorn is making his way down the Hillsborough River, and he's rocking that Tampa Bay Buccaneers uniform that we have seen throughout this parade. We're going to pan you over right now to showcase him as he's got the championship belt.
Oh.
And what a feeling it has to be for this guy, you know.
It's the old man of the group.
He's
been on the team longer than anyone, 2007.
That's right. Him Tyler Johnson and Andre Palat have a unique connection with John Cooper because they were able to work themselves up through this organization, win a Calder Cup in the minor leagues, and then take some of that success and bring it on to the Tampa Bay Lightning squad. And Killorn, we know him. He has the most fun out of anybody on this team. Dubs himself an influencer. He always gives us the inside look at what this team is doing behind the scenes. And the thing that sticks out to me about Alex Killorn, besides the fact that he has a fractured fibula right now and put a rod in his leg, willing to go for Game 6 and Game 7 if need be, was the fact how he got injured and taking the puck off of his leg in Game 1. And really, that, again, encapsulates what this team did throughout the playoffs, was risking their body. We saw Barclay Goodrow do that in Game 5 against the Canadiens, and everyone was willing to put their life on the line for this team, and Killorn got seriously injured doing it, but it was a big play.
He was going to have a rod put in his leg, and then he was going to go out in Game 7. I'm like, he went to Harvard. How smart can you be, my man? The thing that stands out to me about Killorn is how much he loves the city. I believe the last parade he had a Rays jersey on. Today he's got a Bucks jersey. Been around longer than anyone. The love for the city's on the jet ski at American Social. The putting his body on the line for the team, and again, he doesn't always show up in the stat sheet, but what he does in the locker room, the calming presence he has out there, and the willingness to put up the body when it matters the most. We've seen it out of a lot of these guys, but when you get taken out of the game like that, that really says something, because you know how much it means to a guy who's been around for this long to want to try and be out there in front of the city that he loves so much to get it done for them. That's tough, man. It's tough.
Yeah, we're seeing a great scene here right now on the river. And the thing about Killorn, by the way, which is so interesting when looking at all of his stats, was he's never he's never had more than 50 points in a season, and he's only scored more than 20 goals once, which is crazy because he's such an integral part of this group as we see more boats navigating their way through the river.
Someone's coming up here. It's like playing Where's Waldo. I'm trying to figure out who is who. I don't have those good eyes.
And just look at all the fans lined up on the Hillsborough River, and we'll get more into Alex Killorn, but just the scene down here, the weather, it is so fantastic as we give a big shout out to everybody leading these boats. I heard Ryan talk about it earlier, how these are professionals. They know what they're doing. I'm frightened watching this. I know Carolina mentioned it too. Like, I don't know how they navigate this thing, but the fans, a lot of them calling in sick. You
got a boat you want to be on? Of all the boats we've seen, which one are you on? Which one are you going on?
I think I'm on with the Russians of Kucherov, Sergachev, and Vasilevsky. No shirts. Give me the Stanley Cup of beer, and we're all set. But again, with Alex Killorn, I just want to wrap up with him because what he has meant for this team, even with that Game 1 injury, he had 17 points in the postseason, was a top 5 mark in the NHL. One of those selfless guys, and we talk about the great power play unit of this team. Alex Killorn is on that power play unit. You don't see him too much. He mucks it up in the middle, right there in the crease. But that's sort of the guy that he is. Just a man amongst the stars, facilitating and just doing all the other things on that line to make sure that the stars are able to perform on the big stage. And he's so vital to this success.
So many just scrappy players on this team. Yanni Gourde, who we just saw go through here, one of them as well, part of the Nat group. They call them the Nat group because they're pesty out there. They're obnoxious. They're tough to play against.
This is the Ben Murphy boat right here. This is where Ben Murphy's on.
Oh my gosh, Chernak just whipped by on a jet ski. I think I won on the back of that.
Eric Chernak having a great old time. They are all making their way towards the finish line.
And Armature Works is where we're going to send it. That's where they're headed.
That's right. Angelina, I think, has more. Angie, what's going on? Oh, Carolina. Sorry. It's very loud down here.
Carolina and Ryan, guys.
Help us out a little bit.
No, I know it's loud. Yeah, no, it's loud out here. We're just kind of hopscotching from people to people. Carolina lead. Ryan Bass with you. You called it. Yeah, and you called it earlier when we started that they were going to get real close. I didn't know it was going to be that close.
Oh, yeah, they get real close. And by the way, still upset we didn't catch that beer.
I intercepted it. I own that one, okay? I'm taking that one. I should have put my hand
If we're
up.
going to go viral, though, it's got to be that moment, right? And this is what I love, by the way. We saw the Starship. We've got the pirate ship here. I love that they get these iconic, like, tourist ships involved, right?
Yeah.
These are one of the more cool things we have and that we offer here in Tampa Bay. Are some of the best parts to view our beautiful waterways. You got fans lined up, some exclusive season ticket holders, families that get to be a part of it as well. I mean, what an awesome atmosphere here. We still haven't had the Stanley Cup come by us yet. We still haven't seen Steven Stamkos, Victor Hedman. That ship, I know, is having a good time. They are coming up the Hillsborough River right now. My photographer, Bert Marino, tells us. So we should catch a glimpse of those guys here soon. But man, what a special, special moment. And the energy right here around us, the last 15 minutes, it has soared. It has really picked up as these guys get
Well,
to
a lot of people were sitting at first, right, waiting this out, waiting for the. Now everyone's standing. Like people are just not sitting down at this point because why would you? You know, this is really the chance to go ahead and see this. So we're going to take another
right on
look.
The water here.
Yeah,
we got
a nice little breeze.
Yeah, we're getting a view right now, just right here to our right on the screen, of one of our cameras that's on these boats with these crews. So this is what the players are seeing.
Yes.
This is what the families are seeing. And you see that sea of fans just lined up here, all waving, all cheering.
Yeah.
I mean, it is really, really special.
It is definitely party time. You see there, look at that right there, dancing and having a really amazing time. Oh boy, it's just been such a great day. It's just fun to watch everybody, obviously on the water, but also here at Armature Works, having an amazing time. A lot of them sitting along the seawall, of course, trying to get as close of a perspective as they can. And they are, like I said, I mean, they really are pulling in here and getting as close as they can to the fans.
And again,
some really good people navigating these boats.
You're seeing kind of behind us over here as these boats start coming under the bridge, most of them making their way here. But just look behind us, Carolina. I mean, we've got thousands of people lined up here along as you go towards Armature Works here. The little, got the little amphitheater over there that fans can, we're starting to see fans lined up along the bridges here as well. I mean, just an unbelievable sight. Again, this is our third championship boat parade in 285 days.
Who would have predicted this?
days.
This
I mean,
is incredible.
A truly special run here for Tampa Bay, USA, and these fans getting an opportunity to truly enjoy this with them. And again,
something we're not taking for granted at all.
No, certainly not. And you know, we've seen some champagne. We've seen some of the beer getting chugged. We said, what, 14 12-ounce cans can get held in the top of that Stanley Cup, so I'm sure they're enjoying themselves there as well.
And I'm sure they're testing that out. They're making sure,
I'm sure maybe we could put a 15th in here if we really tried. You got some of the jet skis riding through here, and fans really starting to go crazy.
Who's this coming our way?
Oh, man.
Oh, boy, they are rocking. They are moving.
These guys enjoying themselves. You know, I'll tell you, the breeze has got to be pretty good there on the water, too, as these guys are coming through.
We can feel a little bit of the breeze as well here. Of course, the follow-up jet ski behind, make sure get the video. Got to get that perspective.
Look,
the fans right now just going crazy here along the seawall here at Armature Works.
And the opportunity, again, to just enjoy this with the fans. We talked about it earlier, but COVID kind of robbed a little bit of this feeling again from them last year. Now, the parade was obviously filled with thousands of people last year, but this, I mean, you talk about people coming out here on a Monday, truly an unbelievable sight, an unbelievable scene. These guys enjoying themselves.
All smiles here, all smiles.
Oh, man. And again, we talked about the different kind of vessels. You've got some of these jet skis coming through. That's Eric Cernak, by the way, that came through on one of these jet skis. He's got his number on the back of his life jacket there. Certainly helps to identify him a little bit, but he's over there hyping up the fans, saying, oh, that's another interesting guy, man. You talk about Eric Cernak, a guy they got in a trade here to really shore up that D line and that blue line. He's been one of those instigators for this team, right? One of the guys that are the enforcers on that blue line that really helped shore up that defense and made this Lightning team one of the better teams on that blue line.
And speaking of life jackets, remember that post that Bobby Deskins had? We were all laughing about it, of the Stanley Cup in a life preserver, just in case. I haven't seen that yet.
I see the boat here on the screen, Yanni Gord's boat you've got there. I know Braden Point's hanging out there too. Man, what a time.
Water taxi.
You got look at that. You've got the WWE Lightning Championship belt being held up there and lifted.
We heard from Titus O'Neill a little earlier.
It looks like that's Alex Clorn. I can't really tell. Yeah, that is Alex Clorn from this far away. So again, off the jet ski, on the boats now, with an opportunity to celebrate. These guys saluting the fans, having a great time out here on the Riverwalk. But again, Carolina, it's hard to really encapsulate just how special this is. And how this city deserves this. And Bo mentioned it. You know, between our franchises, it was tough there, 2 decades ago.
Yeah.
The Bucks, one of the most losing franchises in NFL history. The Lightning kind of got a slow start, but now 3 Stanley Cups since 2004. What a run. There's the Yanni Gord boat. And of course, Gordo, shirtless as he was for the last boat parade in September. And here he comes to celebrate up close and personal with the fans. So last year, there was an iconic scene right here with Yanni where he smashed 2 beers together and chugged it right on camera. Let's see if we can get it. A video of him doing it again, and here we go. Yanni Gourde enjoying himself.
He's saying back to back, back to back. So well deserved. Oh my
Yanni
goodness.
Gourde, man. You hear the cheers from the fans.
Oh, that was amazing.
How special it is for Yanni Gourde just to be a part of this and to celebrate with the fans. And again, an iconic shot, did the same exact shot as last year where he came up and basically slammed 2 beers together and had himself.
So back-to-back wins and back-to-back, celebrations right here, I see.
So right here behind us.
Is that the, no.
You've got Victor Hedman, Steven Stamkos that are hanging out here on the nice boat behind us. Still waiting for a glimpse of the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
I haven't seen us here behind us, but here's the crowd saluting the captain, Steven Stamkos.
Say back to boat.
I love it.
There's been some really creative and fun shirts that we've seen here.
So how about Steven Stamkos and Victor Hedman here? 2008, the #1 overall pick, Steven Stamkos. 2009, the #2 overall pick, Victor Hedman. You usually don't get that lucky in NHL drafts to hit on back-to-back picks like that.
Right.
That's what this team does. They draft well, they recruit well, and those 2 guys, the cornerstones of this franchise. If you remember last year, Victor Hedman, one of the best postseasons for a defenseman ever. Won the Conn Smythe Award, and now again getting to celebrate the Stanley Cup. Man, these guys just really soaking it in, enjoying with the fans. Again, there's your shot of Steven Stamkos and Victor Hedman here, just enjoying themselves, getting an opportunity to say hi to the fans and celebrate. Again, we haven't seen the Cup make an appearance here yet, but it is making its way down the Hillsborough River.
We've got the water taxi here as well as the Starship circling around again. You know, everybody, of course, wants to get as close as they can to the stars of this team.
And there's Heading, Stammer holding up a little sign from the fan there. And look at that, a little interaction with the fans here on the river. I love that. As they're just soaking it in and having a good time here behind us. There's Alex Killorn with the WWE Lightning Championship belt there behind us. I'll tell you, the fans love them some Alex Killorn.
And you know, it's great when you get to see a boat parade, and you get to see them, because you get to see their true personalities. Well, at least inebriated true personalities, but it's really just such a fun time here on the water. It's
Carolina,
so fun
for
to
a
see
hockey player, an inebriated true personality is certainly a good thing to say. These guys know how to handle themselves and have some fun.
Yeah, they're really
I do love it, though, as you
playing it
see,
up to the
again,
crowd.
Alex Killorn here behind us. I believe that's Pat Maroon on that boat, too. It's hard to tell from this vantage point, but Killer's got his authentic Tampa Bay Bucks jersey there. Again, showing some love to the other teams, to the other champions in town here. And Killer, if you remember, made that Flying V video. He was a social influencer, if you will, for these guys back last year to really start that run. The team and the city really rallied around that.
Again, the fans chanting right now, again, here at Armature Works. No shortage of music out here today. No shortage, a lot of fun. Hey, you know, we're going to go back out to Bo Zimmer, who's on the phone for us. He's been along the parade route. And Bo, what do you have?
Hey there, guys. I just wanted to let you know, you guys have been looking for the cup. Well, the cup almost got ran into just a minute ago. We're back closer to Kennedy Boulevard, and so the cup got passed back to one of the rear boats. It was one of the hockey operations boats, and somehow in this area, all of the public boats started surrounding the cup. And it was quite the scene out here as the police had to come in and move some of these boats away so the Stanley Cup itself could start moving forward. They zipped it up further the river, so you should start seeing it very soon if you haven't already. But a close call there for the Cup as they kind of got surrounded by just a ton of boats that just wanted to get an up-close glimpse at the Cup, but the police did a great job of getting it out of there.
And Bo, I did want to ask you, too, because you did a story last week about divers that are ready to go into the water if that cup makes a dip. Expand on that for a second, right? They've got eyes on the cup at all times.
From what I understand, Tampa police told me that every one of their boats has a member of the dive team on that boat. And as this Stanley Cup moves its way up the river, those dive team members have been instructed to keep their eye on that Stanley Cup at all times. Do not take your eye off that cup, almost as if it's the Secret Service protecting the president. And one of the reasons, if they see where it goes in, they can immediately go in and get it. When you don't see exactly where it went in, it becomes a little bit more of a challenging search pattern. The Tampa Police Department said the river is not in the best condition. In other words, it's not real clean right now. So in other words, once you get about 2-3 feet down, it's pitch black. You can't see anything. And not only that, they don't want to go in this water unless they absolutely have to, because there's a lot of pollution in the water. We've got the red tide and a lot of other bacteria. And things in the water right now, all coming out of the hurricane and tropical storm that we just had. A lot of pollutants got flushed into the river, and so they don't want to be in that water unless they absolutely have to. If they had to go in, they basically put on this complete dry wetsuit, almost like a hazmat suit for underwater to protect them.
Bo, thank you so much. I appreciate your reporting here from the water again. Almost had a little bit of an accident there with the Stanley Cup, but glad that we are all good to go as the cup continues to make its way.
Can you imagine those marching orders? You do not take your eyes off of that. You do not take your eyes off of Lord Stanley. No, sir.
Do not.
And it makes sense what he said, because if they got to go in, it's got to be quick.
We've got Braden Point here, Barclay Goodrow, their yacht, their nice yacht making its way over here down the Hillsborough River as you got fans cheering for Braden Point.
And we have a fan right here. It must be her favorite, because she is yelling. She's ready for Braden Point.
Well, and Braden is a fan favorite. Remember, he came up 1 goal short of an NHL record, 10 straight postseason games with a goal. Pointer, a guy that's going to come up in free agency a year from next year. So basically, they got him under contract 1 more year. He's going to command a lot of money, one of the key pieces to this team. And boy, oh boy, has Braden Point really stepped up when it's mattered most for these Tampa Bay Lightning.
And just about every spot along the Hillsborough River is amazing, but right here is incredible. They really are coming straight up to the fans to make sure that they get a chance to say hello. And look at that. He's signing a jersey. What's about to happen here? Wait a minute. Could this be, hands up in the air? Let's see what's about to happen. That's amazing. Egging on the crowd. Oh, there you go.
Braden Point saluting the fans.
Yeah.
Pointer having a lot of fun out here, celebrating with these fans. And I love them throwing up the deuces. Back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. It is hard to do, Carolina, in a salary cap sport, especially the National Hockey League. Only the second team since the salary cap was enacted in 95-96 to win back-to-back cups. The other team would be the Pittsburgh Penguins. It is special what they did. And I know, again, it's hard to not take for granted after seeing them win it last year again. We do another Stanley Cup boat parade along the Hillsborough River. This is hard to do. It is impressive what the Lightning just pulled off.
Yeah, it really is. And you think about injuries, and it looks like we have John Cooper. Let me look down here.
And there's the head coach of the Lightning, one John Cooper, who again hired by the Lightning in March of 2013 after Guy Boucher was let go. He was promoted from the Syracuse AHL affiliate. He'd won at every level. Remember, this is a guy who coached in the minors, played club hockey at Hofstra, played lacrosse. Was a Wall Street guy, worked on Wall Street, then was a law grad, wanted to be a sports agent, and yet his entire career path changed about 21 years ago, I believe. 21 years ago is when he got the phone call to coach at Lansing Catholic Central High School. That changed his entire career path. I'll tell you this, I could guarantee you the Lightning would not be in this position where they are right now without the calming influence, the methodical, just pure dedication of John Cooper, who, by the way, was very humble on the ice after the win. He said, these guys did everything. I just stood there and chewed gum the entire time. Coach, I know you're trying to be humble there. You did a lot to help this team win back-to-back cups.
Yeah.
Now here we have a Jeff Bennick sighting as well. The owner of the Lightning, Jeff Vinik, here.
Okay, that's what I was trying to listen to hear. What was next here? Who? That's the reason why back to Cooper. But Vinik, as we brought up before, that's the reason why we're doing it on a Monday. Because we got that question so many times at the station. Why are we doing it on the weekend? Well, he had a wedding. His son had a wedding, and that's why, of course, you can't have this without him.
Without the guy responsible for it, right?
Yeah.
Without the guy responsible for it. Okay.
So,
just to set the scene where we are, the Wales Trophy is coming up here as we make its way over here. This is basically right close to the finish point of the parade. Armature Works, they'll continue down the river here and finish up at Rick's on the River, which is very close to where we are right here. We got hockey ops chants from the fans out here. They just want to chant something, doesn't matter what it is, back-to-back, hockey ops, Tampa Bay. They're just here to celebrate.
And we have a lot more boats here now, as of course they make their way up the river. But
we got a small Stanley Cup toss from boat to boat. So not the actual Stanley Cup. We had a small one, but there's a shot of the owner, Jeff Vinik. Again, the man that helped put this franchise on the map. Really incredible. John Cooper there as well. Yep. The head man of this Tampa Bay Lightning team. And just so special. Coop's calming influence, Coop's ability to help this team. And remember after they got swept by the Blue Jackets a few years ago?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Coop has talked about the redemption run, right? That was motivation. And he talked about how they couldn't get to this point without those heartbreaks. It takes those levels of heartbreaks, whether it being losing to the Blackhawks in 2015 in that Cup final, missing out on the playoffs, losing in Game 7s to the Penguins, getting swept by the Blue Jackets there a couple of years ago. It takes those heartbreaks to be able to really revel and enjoy what it took to get to the top of the mountain here 2 years in a row.
Yeah, that's really some good perspective, because you forget about that. You forget about how one moment can lead to the next, and without that, would they have had the drive, not taking away from their heart or their drive, but would they have had it to get to what they did in these last 2 years? Well, less than a year. It feels like 2 years, less than a year that we've had these two parades.
The Lightning with 70 playoff wins since 2015. That is by far the most. The next closest is the Penguins and the Caps with 42. Coach Cooper with a salute to the fans. What a celebration here on the Hillsborough River.
And of course we have the Coast Guard here. We've seen the Sheriff's Office as well. I mean, there's, of course, patrolling this area, keeping everyone corralled where they need to be, of course, with these players.
John Cooper with a nice cold brew in hand. I think he's looking for someone to toss it to. I'll tell you, Coop knows how to have a good time, man.
Hold on, let's see who's got. Oh, and there it goes.
And you see the stogie in mouth for John Cooper.
Yeah.
Gets an opportunity to celebrate here with us. A little kiss and hello from Coach Coop, the Prince of Wales Trophy. He's feeling good, man. Little salute to the fans. What a party here along the Hillsborough. How much do you think Thunderstruck has been played here? I'd say a time or two, huh?
And they're not just throwing alcohol, they're throwing Gatorade as well up here.
All you do is win. I like the Gronk shirt, by the way. You see the Gronk shirt for Coach Coop?
I peeped that too.
I think they're having just a tad bit of fun. What would you say, Gato?
Oh, just a little bit of fun. Well earned fun here. And what's also great is that we're not only seeing the players and the coaches, but also their families. You see kids on these boats, and the excitement to be a part of that as well. Just a memory.
And that's again what they didn't get the opportunity to do much of last year with COVID protocols. And keep in mind, had they won in Game 4 in Montreal, family wasn't allowed into the country. So another added bonus for winning it on home ice in Game 5, they got to celebrate with their family and friends. All right, we're going to take a quick break here. Yeah, we will be showing the parade side to side here.
Yes, so you won't miss a second. We'll be right back.
The Lightning Championship
Parade of Champions, Ryan Bass, Carolina Lead, continuing our coverage here for you. I gotta say, these guys, they travel in style. I mean, these boats are incredible as you see them pass. It's so much fun to watch.
Oh, we've seen the bubbly out here. We've seen the Bud. By the way, Bud Light, Coors Light, if you remember the two marketing competitions here, Coors Light actually scraped some of the ice after the Game 5 win.
I swear they're filtering it.
They sent it back to the brewery. They're filtering it so you can actually taste the victory from their Game 5 win. And then Bud Light, after the Kucherov post-game press conference, shirtless, beer-filled post-game presser, they took the opportunity, sponsored him, Andre Vasilevsky, getting sponsored by Bud Light too. Those beer companies, man, they're pretty creative as they get a chance to celebrate.
That's why they're so successful with Super Bowls for so many years. They know how to pounce on a moment and make sure that they market it correctly.
What a gorgeous shot here over the Hillsborough River here. You know, you see the gold bolts, backdrops everywhere. It just truly is such a special. That is, I believe, Blake High School there right behind us.
Yeah, with the big
where that gold
sign
bolts signage is there. Just so special, and this is our third championship boat parade in 285 days. And I want to give you an idea, Carolina, of just what kind of a run these franchises here in Tampa Bay have been on. The last 4 seasons, okay, between our pro sports franchises, the Bucks, the Lightning, and the Rays, 4 finals appearances, 3 championships, last 4 seasons. The previous 92 seasons before that, previous 92, 4 finals appearances, 2 championships. Think about that. What we have done in the last 4 seasons hadn't been accomplished in the previous 92. It is unprecedented what Tampa Bay is doing right now.
Oh, man. And as we continue to see the boats here, I mean, it is, you know, I really love that perspective from the sky, but gosh, when you see it from this perspective here, you see everybody on the boat waving American flags as well as boat flags. Then the chants start here from Armature Works and along the river walk from fans who, you know, just continue to chant Tampa Bay. It's been just a fun time.
So the Stanley Cup hasn't made its way over here yet, Carolina. There are a few interesting little nuggets about Lord Stanley, though, that maybe a few fans wouldn't know.
Well, the big thing is that it's named after someone. I wonder how many people actually knew that. There was a Lord Stanley Preston, the 6th Governor General of Canada, which is interesting, right? Because you've always said Lord Stanley, and so it's fun to, of course, know the background when it comes to the Stanley Cup. But the one that I really love and I find so interesting are the typos. I don't know why that caught my eye, and the fact that, you know, hey, look, there's 2,000 names on it, so keep that in consideration. Mistakes can be made. Mistakes can be made, and they have been made. So we got the Boston Bruins spelled totally incorrectly. I mean, B-Q-S-T-Q-N.
You know what?
Wait,
we
what?
don't like Boston here in Tampa Bay. We can keep spelling their names incorrectly.
And then the Islanders, which I'm sure our Evan Klosky was not thrilled about. He's
Probably
from Long
not.
Island, of course. He was not thrilled about that one. But that's many years ago. That's 80-81 for the Islanders and 71-72 for the Bruins, where those 2 typos are on there. But mistakes have been made on it. But boy, the key today has been watching this thing.
Yes.
There have been multiple eyes.
There's the
That's all
replica
they
cup,
do.
by the way, made out of beer cans, by the way. Not the actual Stanley Cup, just so you do get an understanding there.
Yeah.
But what I also find interesting is it was purchased back in 1892 for 10 guineas, which the equivalent to today's dollars would be $50.
Yeah.
$50 for that piece of hardware that it was purchased back in the day. I think that's a look at, is that Patty Maroon that we got there? It looks like it. The hair flowing around, Pat Maroon, 3-time Cup champ, back-to-back Cup champion. First player in NHL history to do that with 2 clubs. And when they acquired Pat Maroon, when he came over here from the St. Louis Blues after he had won that championship there, that added that type of championship pedigree that this locker room needed. They needed a guy to come in with that experience. If you ever see a scrum on the ice, Pat Maroon's the first guy up there with fists in somebody's face. He's the enforcer for this team. He's the guy that kind of brings this group along. He's defending his teammates. And I love a lot of the interviews. A lot of guys were asked about Maroon and just the type of presence he brought. They talked about him being the ultimate teammate, the guy that just has made the engine go. This might be his last go-around here with the Lightning as well. Now, he is signed through next season, but this team, of course, against cap crunched, have to make some moves here. Patty Maroon, though, has been an incredible addition to this franchise.
And then, of course, you think about the chemistry that's needed, right? You can have all the talent in the world, and if the team doesn't play well together, it doesn't have that sort of chemistry, I mean, how far do you go? And this team obviously has that, both on and off the ice, apparently.
Oh, man, the beard chucks to fans have been pretty interesting and fun to watch. That's why, again, I say, like, it's so cool to do this on the Hillsborough River, right? Like, you get that intimacy where maybe if you do it on land, you don't necessarily get that opportunity as much. It gets to be spread out all throughout here along the river in Tampa Bay, where you're going all the way from Davis Islands, past the convention center in TGH, where we saw that Bobby and Allison were under the bridge, the Laurel Street Bridge, where Evan and Ben were. And then coming up here along to Armature Works and finishing up at Rick's on the River, it just gives you so many vantage points to be able to enjoy and see these guys and celebrate them.
And you always wonder also, at least I do, people who are watching this, not just here in the U.S., but also internationally, right? You're going to have people from all over the world watching this boat parade, looking at us. This puts us on the map for people who may not know Tampa Bay, who live in Europe or other parts of the world, to see this is how our lifestyle is, this is how we live here.
And two of the newest members to our 10 Tampa Bay team who are just starting to get to know our beautiful area much better. Evan Klosky, Ben Murphy, two newbies to our 10 Tampa Bay here team. Guys, you guys are spoiled, man. When I was in our sports department, I didn't get to cover back-to-back championships. You guys are spoiled.
Very.
Hey, we'll take it, jumping on the bandwagon, great time to do it. And, we just want to have the ability to stand out here like Patty Maroon does. Take our shirt off like Cooch, have a good time, because right now the crowd is making its way through the Tampa Bay Riverwalk, making its way around and getting prepared at Julian B. Lane Park to prepare for the team coming through in about an hour to really say their parting words to the fans before they head off to the, wherever they are in hometown and get ready for the off season, and we start figuring out who's going to stay and who's going to go.
A little sad it's over. It was an exciting little 15-minute run to see all these guys kind of open up, show their personalities. I think if you go to Twitter, I think Grant Gilmore posted a video of Yanni Gourde. If you weren't watching us, my man's going to have some words, I hope, on the podium, because he was feeling good out there. But it is
Stone
cool.
Cold Steve Austin move. Ryan called that thing. That was a play-by-play move right there. Really just made it happen.
I love it. No, I love it. This has been a cool experience for a couple guys who I guess are lucky to step into a sports mecca right now.
Yeah.
And the more we get to do this, I think it's better for the city, and we're having a time. While we're presenting it to you, we're still soaking it in because it's new to us.
It's funny because while you guys were talking, Ryan and Carolina, I was discussing with Ben. It was I cannot believe that the boat parade was not the first thought always. Again, it's what Alex Korn mentioned, that this is such Tampa Bay. The fact that we can hang out along the Riverwalk, do our thing on the boats, have fun, interact. That's what makes this so special. And the fact that we are winning is just spectacular. And you're getting a beautiful look at Julian B. Lane Park. You're starting to see the fans trickle into the park. That's just a small glimpse, as we're taking it full, a small glimpse into what we're going to experience. You're seeing some of the boats still making its way, enjoying the environment, but the party is happening in the park again in roughly an hour, and that place is going to be packed, and we cannot wait to hear what the guys have to say. I'm sure they're a little bit loose. I don't know what Nikita Kucherov is going to do for an encore after his Game 5 post-game press conference, but nonetheless, these guys just having a smile on their face, enjoying the moment, seeing everybody interact. I mean, sure, Yanni Gourde smashing beers, but seeing Ross Colton, the rookie, and the rookie boat go really close to the fans, take pictures with them, really soak it in. Ross Colton was telling me he's got his phone out, recording everything because he doesn't want a moment to pass him by.
There are just so many different angles and so many different backstories that makes each one of these individual celebrations on the boat out at the park so unique. For Ross Colton, his mom didn't get to go to the game-clinching game that he scored the only goal in. She was sick, but his dad and brother were here. So her getting to now watch him go through all this as a rookie who became the 9th player in franchise history to score a goal in his opening game, to set the rookie franchise record for goals in the playoffs with 4, to a guy like Tyler Johnson, who's been here longer, was on the 2015 team that lost and was put on the trade block, was listed on waivers and then brought back on the team, didn't get to dress out when they raised the banners in the stadium. Different angles and different reasons for each one of these guys why this celebration means so much. And then you get like what we were talking about with Pat Maroon, who's getting to do this for the 3rd straight time. I hope he's in shape for all of this. He's definitely in tune, I guess, for more than anyone else.
He's a well-seasoned veteran. Maybe not so much the boat parade. Everybody's gone through it twice now as far as the boat parade.
But so many different angles. Yanni Gourde, who undrafted, was ready to become a civil engineer if hockey wasn't going to work out. And even Julien Brisebois, the Lightning general manager, said, Look, if you would have told me 6 or 7 years ago this was Yanni Gourde on the team who scored a goal to send them to this Stanley Cup Finals in Game 7 against the Islanders, if you would have told me then that this was now, I wouldn't have believed you. And it is so cool to learn and grasp all of these different backstories to what makes each one of these celebrations so special. And a lot of these guys are fairly quiet. And we've mentioned this 4 or 5 times throughout this broadcast, but to get them to open up over the last 4 or 5 days since they clinched and won and walked off the ice and got to the podium is so cool, because we do know their stories, but to hear them kind of let it loose and let it fly a little bit is awesome. And I'm excited to see what they say at the podium.
Yeah, you're taking a look right now as the players start wrapping up their trip on the Hillsborough River. They will soon make their way to Julian B. Lane Park. And you mentioned like Yanni Gourde, and I heard Ryan talk about the hockey ops. You know, there are so many other parts of this team and the organization beyond what we see on the ice, and the developmental staff and what they've done to nurture this group. We mentioned how Killorn, Palat, Johnson, John Cooper, all these guys worked themselves up through the minor leagues to really present the product that you see in front of them. The PR staff who deals with us in the media all year long.
It's tough there.
And my apologies. But, you know, even beyond that, just every staff member that has their hand in this thing that you don't see on game day, they get to come out here and they get to enjoy this moment as well. And those are the faces that the players know, that the coaches know, and we don't get to really talk about very often. But that's why this is so important. You see a lot of boats out here and you don't really know who's on them. And maybe they don't have the numbers across the bow or whatever it might be. But they're integral parts to this team. And this is such a special moment for this franchise and for this city.
That's what happens when you build the right foundation that Vinik did. You get the right guys in place. You trust Cooper, Brisebois, Yzerman. I mean, from Ben Bishop leaving and having a guy in place to be able to capitalize that and add to the team. And not only just the back-to-back cups, but even the year before, that will go down in the history books when they were swept in the first round. They tied a record for most wins in the regular season to being in the Stanley Cup final in 2015. These 6-7 years need to be, it's hard to really appreciate it, but I think 5-10 years from now, it's one of those things you look back on and say, sheesh, man, that is unbelievable what they were able to build and really keep afloat, keep running. That stat Ryan listed off earlier, almost double the amount of wins in the playoffs since 2015 than any other team in the NHL. That is fascinating.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, a case study on what they were able to do should be taught in any sports management, sports business class. From the fan experience downtown, to the roster, to the minor leagues, to getting a coach from their farm system, if you will, up and coming. It is special what they've done here in Tampa, and hockey works in Florida. Hockey works in Florida, man.
And you're seeing it right now on Sky 10 as we just navigate over these boats and try to bring you the scene. And we understand a lot of you are working right now. We understand a lot of you don't live in the area anymore and are big Tampa Bay Lightning fans. And this is just, it's tremendous being down here. And it really doesn't put into words when you see Sky 10 just roll right through the Riverwalk and you just see them lined up for miles and miles. It's just, and you mentioned, you know, a lot of people don't give the respect to the city as far as hockey is concerned, and it's crazy to me. It is crazy when you get to drink in this environment and you get to see all the signs, the lightnings. We were getting coffee before this all started, and I was like, it is nuts how many fans have their 2021 gear ready.
It's insane, and we've talked about this. I've used this line multiple times, but I think it still stands true. It's almost like being in a pure college town, and I don't mean the perks of being a college student. I mean you cannot avoid the blue and white down here. You go into a restaurant, you go into a bar, you go to get your oil changed. I mean, anything you do down here, it's in your face. If you live in Tampa and you're not a Lightning fan, I mean, you have to be hiding from it. You can't avoid it, and it's a day like today, it's obvious. But even in your average Tuesday, your average Wednesday, it's everywhere, man.
And you know, here's the thing that Ryan positioned when bringing it out to us, that first of all, we're lucky to be down here. We are all lucky, and the Tampa Bay Rays want to join in on this party. We want to give them a boat parade, and they have something to say to the Lightning as well.
Big, huge congrats to Tampa Bay Lightning, John Cooper, his staff, all of those players. It was pretty awesome to sit and watch that and just how they celebrated afterwards. Great for the Bay Area, but pretty remarkable what the Tampa Bay Lightning have done, put together, and they're at the top of their game and doing special things, so congrats to them.
Shout out to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Obviously a big fan from birth, and it's super exciting in our hometown because of them. Tampa Bay Rays and the Buccaneers. So
incredible for them. I'm so happy to be a part of this community on a sports team across the bridge from those guys. But what an accomplishment! They've had a great team for years and years now, and for them to go back to back, absolutely incredible.
Man, we love those guys so much. First of all, Kevin Cash and Brett Phillips, they're our guys, right?
They're locals.
So they know exactly what
means something to them.
They know exactly what this means to the franchise. And Kevin Kiermaier, who is essentially a local. Yeah. I mean, the Rays just rotate talent constantly, and the fact that Kiermaier has been here for forever, he's our child. We accept him, So that's the thing about having those three talk and give a congratulations. It's not just wordplay. This really does mean something to them. And Brett Phillips, if you have a chance to go check out his social media, he posted a picture when he was a kid in Lightning gear.
That's
and
incredible.
I mean, he's here from the inception of the franchise. I mean, it took a good chunk of time for this team to really find its way in the National Hockey League. I mean, we went to the Thunderdome. We played a little bit in Tropicana Field to what we now see at Amalie Arena. And we mentioned Stamkos and Hedman earlier. They were one of the first people to kind of come through the Hillsborough River here from where we are at the Laurel Street Bridge. And that was kind of the only snafu, I would say, in the millennium for the Tampa Bay Lightning from 2007 to 2010. Yeah. And it came to fruition because you stunk, but you got guys like Steven Stamkos and Victor Hedman to really lay the foundation for where we are today.
And it is cool because, all right, so we have the run now that we're going through here in the city, but then you think about, okay, when was the last time we saw a little span like this? All right, maybe 2001 through 2004 when the Bucks did it and the Lightning did it. And what's cool about this city is names from that little era still stick around. Vinny LeCavier still in the area. Yep. Mike Allstott still in the area. And this city really, when you get here and you are able to post up here, it sucks you in, man. I mean, you don't want to leave, and they've embraced it, and they become people of the city. And I think we're going to see a similar outcome with names like that with this group. Over the next 20, 30 years, they're going to become staples of the city.
And let me tell you something. I know that the Lightning are in salary cap issues, but you cannot tell me that players do not want to play in this city with this kind of atmosphere. Sky 10, just letting you breathe a little bit. This is awesome.
I mean, you could go on a jet ski or on a boat in December. Imagine playing in Montreal. Yeah, let me take the jet ski to American Social in Quebec.
We have so much fun here. The winning is fantastic, and you know what? Winning breeds winning, and that's what we're seeing with all of our teams right now. But look at how the city has just rallied around this team. Look at the fanfare. Look at
it's Monday, right?
Yeah,
is it
right?
Monday?
Yeah, we appreciate it, Jeff Vinnick, that you were able to make this on a Monday. We don't care. Weekends, doesn't matter. We're going to find a way to be down here. And this is the foundation that the Lightning started for this city, winning the Cup, finally breaking through. I mean, one of the most poignant quotes from this postseason run was after winning the Stanley Cup, and John Cooper was asked, are you building a dynasty here? Is this a dynasty?
Too late.
And
Yes.
John Cooper mentions, it's funny, in 2015, we were the new kids on the block that were told we're going to be here before or after they lost to the Chicago Blackhawks. And Tyler Johnson got injured, and a lot of people still believe if Tyler Johnson didn't get hurt during that series, they would win. But then also losing to the Columbus Blue Jackets and getting swept, all of a sudden it's, okay, this team is never going to make it. They stink. They're just one of those groups that's going to come and go and never get it done. And now, 2 years later after that, we're talking about a dynasty. And we're talking about a movement here right near Julian B. Lane Park. As we have more and more boats coming through.
This is what John Cooper was talking about. My favorite quote from the postseason run was John Cooper talking about when he first got here, we were the city's second favorite team, it felt like. When okay, my Boston Bruins are eliminated for the playoffs, time to hop on and ride the Lightning for a couple weeks. And he said what's happened over the last 6 or 7 years, now you can't find an away jersey in the stands when you go to Amalie Arena. And that's, I can tell you can't find one out here, and this is a special scene right now.
Yeah, as we see Julian B. Lane Park filling up, Ryan and Carolina, we're seeing some of the players make their way down here. We're seeing more action. What a day this has been.
It's been an unbelievable day, Evan, and we just had Ross Colton that came behind us on the rookie boat. Colton, of course, scoring that only goal in Game 5 on the assist from David Savard to help the Lightning win the Cup. Man, it has been such an incredible view as you look. We talked about it, Carolina, at the top. This is hard to pull off. And this is our third championship boat parade in 11 months. This is not easy to do, and we do it to a T now.
And the thing is, this is far from over. I mean, we've got a lot more partying here in the water, and then we're going to head over to Julian B. Lane Park, where, there's going to be a party there as well with Big Boy performing there as well as the players, of course, taking the stage. It's going to be a lot of fun there as well. But for now, they're on the water. They're having an amazing time here on the water.
We saw Cooch, the Cooch and Vassy boat with Sergachev. That was one of the first boats that made its way past us towards Rick's on the river, where, again, they will dock. The players will get off. They'll take a little bit of a trolley over to Julian B. Lane, and that is where the post-celebration will be. And if it's anything like it was last year at Raymond James Stadium, it is going to be an unbelievable time. By the way, we have our friend Claire, who is here with us. We're going to talk about her in a second.
Yeah,
but first, let's give a little shout out to the Lightning, courtesy of our governor, Ron DeSantis.
Hi, this is Governor Ron DeSantis. As somebody who grew up in the Tampa Bay area, I'm very proud that Tampa Bay is Title Town, USA. First, the Lightning won the Stanley Cup in 2020. Then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers brought home the Super Bowl. And now the Tampa Bay Lightning win back-to-back Stanley Cups. Great job. Go Bolts.
Governor DeSantis, it's nice to be the governor of the state of Florida these days. Huh?
Yeah, especially when you got scenes like this. I'm sure the governor very, very proud of the site we're putting on here. Back again, just to talk about our friend Claire Porter over here, 87 years old. She's sitting right here in front of us. She's got a Bud Light in her hand. She's got Lightning gear all over. She said she's been going to hockey games since she was 15 years old. She was out here in September celebrating the parade, and now she is back here again, hanging out with us and celebrate with us. So good to have Claire just kind of be a friend of ours and hang out here and celebrate.
Yeah, we've had. Oh, what'd you say, Claire? She's a little camera shy, but she's telling me a little story here. Keep going.
Here is Claire with us. So, okay. Claire doesn't want to share her story with us just yet, but she is hanging out here with us, and she is celebrating. And I will tell you, it's just been great to kind of hear from her vantage point and from fans really all out here just how special this is. Again, Claire's saying, I was out here in September, I'm out here now. I've been going to hockey games since I was 15 years old. This doesn't happen.
And, when you have something like this, obviously when you win the Stanley Cup, you see people that are complete strangers who are becoming friends out here. Like, we all love the Lightning. We're now family. We've got this Lightning family that we have out here now.
There's our friend Claire hanging out here right in front of us.
Yeah.
Cooling down, doing awesome, hanging out and loving her Lightning here with us.
Yeah.
So, Claire, wave to us. Say hi. There you go. See, Claire saying hi. So, out here, 87 years old, having a good time. One of thousands of fans out here along the Riverwalk that are enjoying this. I haven't seen the cup yet, Carolina. I'm still waiting to see this cup come through.
But we've seen players drink a little bit of beer, close it back up, and throw it to the fans. That's been, and people are just going crazy trying to grab those bottles, those cans. And we have a little round of applause here for fans on the water with a little baby Stanley Cup, having some fun out
I do
here
like,
as well.
again, I love the
But
little mini Stanley Cups, too.
Yeah, they're fun. They're a lot of fun.
Hanging out here. Oh, man.
But right now we're looking at some of the, massive boats that are out here. It's really pretty impressive when you see it from above. The quality of some of these boats is just so much fun to look at.
How many cities you think are jealous of us right now, Carolina?
Oh,
because
they don't
get
have
to
this
do
option.
this.
Not even like an option. But you never know. Cities like New York might say, let's go up and down the Hudson, try and steal our thunder here. But no, we're not doing that.
Chance.
This is ours.
Mayor Jane Castor obviously made some headlines for saying that the Lightning maybe should lose Game 4. Maybe they should win Game 5. She ultimately turned out to be right. Here's Mayor Jane Castor giving a little congrats to our guys.
Last year we had such a difficult time with the pandemic and all the issues that we had. So to be able to win a Stanley Cup during that in the bubble, that was so wonderful to see the team hoist up the Stanley Cup and bring that back to our community. Provided so much joy in a rather difficult year. And now we're out of the bubble. All the excuses are gone. No one can avoid the fact that the Tampa Bay Lightning are the greatest hockey team in the world. Back-to-back Stanley Cup wins. That's rarely done, and it's done by our team, and we'll probably bring that in for a hat trick next year.
I'm digging the doggy Bolts jersey there. That's pretty amazing.
Look at the view from over the top. You see some of the cars. Some cars pulled over too, just to get a quick glimpse.
I'm not sure you're supposed to do that, but I get it.
Over. No, not advised, but we do understand. Certainly trying to catch a glimpse. I like Mayor Castor already predicting the three-peat for the Lightning, by the way.
Yeah. So
Certainly
Ryan,
would
you
love
were
to see
there
it.
for much of this, right? What was it like the night that they took it? I mean, you were there with the fans.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I really wish I kind of had the vantage point from inside Amalie Arena. We obviously were outside to get ready for our nightside show with you in studio, but I remember standing there and just looking over Thunder Alley as the fans were counting down the clock, right? Yeah. Once there was basically, they didn't call an icing, they cleared the puck, and the fans are counting down, and then you just see they had these glow sticks get thrown up into the air. The celebration began, hugging commenced. That's what we missed with the pandemic last year, being able to hug our friends, our neighbors, the guys next to us just celebrating the championship. Thunder Alley was such an unreal vibe, and it was one of those moments, Carolina, where you just had to stand there and take a second, just a second to soak it in and realize what you were watching, because it was witnessing history.
Yeah, and then knowing that this boat parade was coming right back to Tampa and to be able to win it at home, just incredible. We are very fortunate that played out the way it did. Again, you're taking a live look over this whole area. It just gives you a better perspective of the entire route. It's a very long route, and it's just so much fun. We're going to go ahead and send it over to commercial break, but you'll still be able to watch all of this live coverage.
The Lightning Championship Parade on 10 Tampa Bay is sponsored by Tampa General Hospital. Other hospitals practice medicine.
Perspective, the vantage point that you get when you see it from Sky 10, right? Because from down here, it's a sea of boats, right? It's an incredible jet skis, boats, kayaks, you name it is out here. People jumping in the water, having an amazing time. But when you see it from up above, it's when you really get to see, A, how long the route is, and then how many boats are up and down. Some of them are actually done, but yeah, we're going through this area.
Pretty incredible. And again, once these boats wrap up, the players will take a trolley over to Julian B. Lane Park, where the post-celebration will begin. That is where our Angelina Salcido is hanging out right now. I saw over the overshot, Angie, a lot of fans already there getting ready for the celebration after this wraps up.
There are a lot of fans waiting, and what you said right now is exactly what they're waiting for. Here we've got a few sides of them right here. These people have been here since 9 a.m. this morning. We're going to keep panning down. You can tell that people are just so excited to see the boys. Ever since last year, so many of these fans tell me that this is what they've been waiting for. I want to stop here and introduce you to Laura. Laura is a very special fan. Laura actually has a Stanley Cup tattoo. Show me your tattoo. There we go. Laura, you got this tattoo at 12 a.m. on Friday.
Yes, in Ybor City.
How do you feel about that?
It just means a lot to me. Part of this celebration, and to be in such a great city that's so friendly and welcoming and full of champions.
Were you scared to get this tattoo or no?
No, I mean look at all the other ones I have. No, I was more excited than I could have ever been.
And so, what would your message to the team be if you could say something to them?
To what?
To them, to the team.
Oh, congratulations! I am honored to be in a city of champions, and go Bolts. By the way, they won the Stanley Cup on my birthday too.
Now you can understand why she ended up getting this tattoo at 12 a.m. She knew knew that this was going to be a big moment. If we continue to keep walking down, I'm going to show you a little bit of the crowd that's been here. Go ahead, Dennis, and take a pan. All of these people, it's 9 a.m. waiting for the boys to get here. Keep in mind that they have not been able to see the boys come down on the river. They're seeing them from afar, watching them on a screen, but they are so excited for this moment. How are you guys feeling about today?
Oh, I'm happy about this. I'm excited. It's a great day to be a Tampa fan.
What does it feel like celebrating this year, knowing that you couldn't do this with the team last year?
It just feels great, you know. I mean, didn't have that chance to do it last year, so it's great to do it this year. Crazy, man.
I love it. I love it. Now I'm going to have Dennis pan this way to show you guys where the team is actually going to end up. The stage has been ready to go for them to head this way any moment now. We're told that they're going to be brought here. We're told that they're going to be coming down here in trolleys. We saw them pass by. The fans super excited. It's going to be a party once they get here, Ryan and Carolina.
Well, that fan certainly had a fantastic birthday last year. They won the Stanley Cup on her birthday. Imagine what the party was like that night.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it was epic. By the way, Blake Coleman over here, the boat just coming by us. Coleman, the most memorable goal of this postseason. In that game 2 with 1.1 left on the clock going into that second intermission, Coleman scores that goal to break the 1-1 tie. That was one of the most incredible goals. He's done that 3 times in his career, by the way. The sprawling out, just hit the puck into the net kind of goal. Blake Coleman, man, what can you say? Another one of those guys that was picked up by the Lightning a few years ago that has just made an incredible impact with this team.
Oh my goodness, they are just having such a great time, and really, again, throwing beers up at the fans, getting their boats as close as possible here to Armature Works, to where we have just, I mean, hundreds, if not thousands of people out here. It's just so much fun to watch people getting as far forward on the dock as they can to get a glimpse, to get as close as they can to these players, to enjoy the moment.
I'm telling you, this is so special, and you've got a lot of the people, and you have some fans migrating, by the way, those that have started over closer towards where TGH and the convention center was. When you have a beautiful 2.8 mile stretch of riverfront and you can walk it, there's nothing better, right? There's nothing better than being able to just kind of walk with the team and enjoy the parade as it comes through.
And so accessible. We are really so lucky to have it. I mean, it's so easy to continue to follow these boats as they make their way along the Hillsborough River.
You have CEO Steve Griggs of the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Griggs family boat that's over here behind us as well. Steve Griggs, an unbelievable human being, one of those guys that's in the front office, that's in the ownership group of this Lightning that has really done such an incredible job of helping organize this team. And there you go, the owner of the Lightning, Jeff Vinnick. As you hear the chants from the fans.
Waiting for.
And there's the Stanley Cup.
Stanley Cup.
Quite fitting, it is on the boat of the owner of the Lightning, Jeff Vinnick. Right where Lord Stanley should be, in the hands of the guy who made this franchise what it is.
There we go.
All for the fans to enjoy, Mr. Vinnick here. By the way, one of the nicest human beings, too. I mean, you just wouldn't, all the money, all the stuff he's done for this city, the winning, the dedication. I mean, just an unbelievable human being, let alone one of the best owners in sports. I'd assume that there's been a couple of beverages for owner Jeff Vinnick that's come out of that cup.
Just a few. There he goes, raising his arm up. Yep. And this is what the fans are waiting for, really and truly. This is the moment. I mean, obviously, all the players being this close to the players, but seeing the Stanley Cup, seeing the owner.
I like how Lord Stanley has kind of made his way from boat to boat. It started on the Stamkos Edmund boat.
And there it goes again. Here we go.
And here's Jeff Vinnick. Getting the lift,
I mean,
Lord
just
Stanley.
all smiles, all smiles. This is just...
I like how Tom Brady and Gronk had said, you know, sometimes when you got a little bit of liquid courage in you, it helps you lift heavy things.
And if you think about it, Jeff Vinnick has had quite a long week, not only winning, but he had a wedding to go through. And you know, weddings are a lot of drinking as well, a lot of fun. And now he's got another round of fun and partying with his players.
How about a weekend for the Vinnick family? Again, his son gets married, and then now they get to celebrate with a cup. Would you say this is the reception, or do you think they already had a reception? They just waited and said, you know what, we'll celebrate down there.
Yeah, I'm sure they've had quite a few receptions here. This is just unbelievable to think about.
You know, and I was wondering what boat the Cup would be on when it finally made its way down here, and nothing more quite fitting than being on the Vinnick family boat.
I mean, look how many boats are on the water as it follows the Stanley Cup. It is, you know, we've seen waves of this, right? We could see a bunch of boats and they can move on, but this is pretty much the most crowded we've kind of seen the water from what I can remember. And of course, it's because Lord Stanley's here. And of course, yep, trying to hype up the crowd out here, which isn't hard to do.
We've seen a lot of pontoons. We've seen a lot of center console boats. Of course, you've got your Vinnick yacht. You've got some of your small cobias out here. I mean, just a sea of boats. This is how Tampa Bay does it. Been truly, truly special.
So we're going to go ahead and hear what Titus O'Neil had to say about this big win.
To have the Lightning here in Tampa has been nothing short of amazing, and especially, I mean, obviously we won the Stanley Cup in 2004, but ever since Mr. Vinnick took over the team, it's just been an entirely different energy about the sport of hockey in general. You know, no one in their wildest imagination would have ever thought that Tampa would be known as a hockey town, but it's exactly what we are, and it's not just because of what they've been able to produce from a standpoint on the ice, but also to what they do in this community. And I'd say time and time again, there's no other organization in my eyes that does as much as the Lightning does for this community. I think I was probably one of the first people to ever meet Coach Cooper before he was even officially the coach. We were on the same flight, and just talking with him and finding out his story about how he got into the sport and how he ended up becoming a NHL coach after like being basically a club coach starting off. Just an amazing journey for him. He's a lawyer by trade, and so that in itself was a cool, fun fact for me to learn. But just like I say, the Lightning and what they do in this community to help those in need is really, in my opinion, second to none. And so for me, it was very easy for me to become not only a fan of the organization, but obviously a fan of the sport.
And you just heard there from WWE superstar Titus O'Neil, who's just so proud of this team and so proud of the city. Great human being, just does so much good work.
And I like how they worked him into the pregame celebration, right? As they get the fans fired up, you hear Titus O'Neil that comes on that big screen up at Amalie Arena, and he fires everybody up. He's become one of the biggest Lightning fans. Obviously, he's got the biceps to get him going, too. All right, right here behind us, let's just set the scene for you. Of course, we had Jeff Vinnick come by. You got some of the sheriffs here that are trying to corral these boats here behind us. We do have a big rig sighting and Ryan McDonough here over one of the bigger boats here behind us. Patty Maroon, three straight Stanley Cups he's won with the Blues and now 2 with the Lightning. And then Ryan McDonough, one of the key core members of this defenseman group, acquired from the Tampa Bay Rangers a few years ago. Honestly, he could have won the Conn Smythe Award. He was so good in these playoffs this year for this Stanley Cup. Lightning, and last year, obviously, Victor Hedman had that great run as the defenseman. This year, it was really Ryan McDonough who had that exceptional postseason for this Tampa Bay Lightning group. He's been such a welcome addition, signed to a long-term contract a few years ago to stick around here in the Lightning. But that Patty Maroon boat, I saw on Pat Maroon's Instagram, these guys were in South Tampa right there on Soho. They were taking the cup down there into Soho Saloon, down into McDidden's. They were letting fans drink out of it. Pat Maroon has been the life of the party since the Lightning won.
Which is what you're supposed to do, right? That's the whole point of winning the championship, is to be able to go out to do that kind of fun party stuff. It's just so funny to see and to hear all of the stories of what they're doing with this Stanley Cup all throughout Tampa.
Of course, they would have the replica cup with the beer cans on it.
Yeah.
That's vintage Patty Maroon right there.
And right now, we have the City of Tampa Police right now just really waving boats, jet skis, trying to get them out of the way, really keep this corralled properly to try to maintain some order here. But again, it's a big party out here on the water right now.
Pat Maroon, who you're looking at, has one of the best nicknames in all of sports, really, the Big Rig. Love his nickname.
That's amazing.
And, you know, it's really great. After the clinching the cup, he had said, "You might not see me on the score sheet, but I try to bring those different elements, relax your team a little bit." Relax. This guy's been the center of the celebration ever since they won the cup.
Yeah. And there you go, kissing.
So, just to let you know, so have you been seeing 2 different cups?
Yes.
Now, I don't know if the Vinnick boat was able to pass it. I didn't get to see.
I'm not sure. I'm trying to follow it, just like
but there are a couple of different cups that they do have. The keeper of the cup obviously keeps one, and Patty Maroon, well deserving. Let's go over to Julian B. Lane Park just for a shot over there. That is where this post celebration is after Maroon and the cup get over there following their stroll down the Riverwalk.
Yeah.
Okay, so they are singing Sweet Caroline right now, just starting to get ramped up. Let's take a walk through the crowd. I want to introduce you once again to a very famous, a very special fan. His name is Tom. Tom, you've been a fan since '92. What's this moment like for you right now?
It's incredible what this team has done in such a short amount of time being in existence, and this city loves them.
How do you feel being here and finally getting to celebrate with them? You got here pretty early today.
It feels great because last year they won, which was awesome, but it really wasn't a connection. But now that everybody's getting back on their feet from COVID, and we're able to get together as a community, today's a beautiful thing.
I know that you've been behind the gates, obviously not along the river, so you're not able to see them. But what's it been like for you to see them pass through?
Well, it's been great because they keep showing it on the screen here. Every once in a while, you'll see somebody dancing or somebody holding the trophy up. So they're getting bits and pieces, but I wanted to be right here to see them up close and personal.
What are you most looking forward to when the boys come in here and get up on that stage?
I just want to see their joy face to face, everything they've been through the last 2 years, 5 years. It's their lifelong journey, and it's amazing to see it up close.
I know that you have the mask on, you've got the hat on, you've got the flag on, the shirt. You also brought signs. Walk me through what we have here.
Well, first, we got the sign, the lights up that shows all 3 of the cups, supporting them all the way back to 2004. And then the other sign, Pat Maroon got his hat trick, which means he got 3 Stanley Cups in a row. So maybe he can stay with us and get 2 more, and then we'll have a Maroon 5.
Something that you could say to the team, if you could talk to him, what would you say?
Just keep doing what you're doing. This whole town is behind you. Anything you do, we're there for you.
Now, you guys, I know that, you guys, Carolina and Ryan, have spoken about it. Evan and Ryan have also spoken about it as well. Just about how much this team really has brought Tampa Bay together. This is an incredible moment for this city. This is something that this city really isn't going to forget. The same thing as when they won the Stanley Cup. That was incredible. I mean, we had the fireworks, we had the music. Same thing here. I mean, we have not seen this many fans in a very, very long time. And this is going to be such a fun time. They're waiting for these boys to come rolling in on the trolleys.
I gotta admit, I got bits and pieces of what Angie just said because the crowd here was going so crazy. I'm like trying to listen in, but it's just such a party out here. And of course out there at Julian B. Lane, I could see the crowd reacting there with Angelina Salcido. Wow, just a great time.
That's what happens when Pat Maroon and Ryan McDonough and the cup come cruising by.
And
people get loud.
Yeah, and a champagne shower that was going on over there. I was like, wait a minute, how many bottles y'all got on there? A good time.
I'll tell you,
so
they've
amazing.
got stockpiles and stockpiles of bottles.
They probably have someone just on that duty. That's my job.
Like a keeper of the champagne. You have a keeper of the cup.
Yes.
You got a keeper of the champagne that brings it out. Man, it's so. Again, I just want to thank you guys for tuning into our coverage. Ryan and Carolina, we've been having so much fun out here. The party isn't stopping, by the way.
No.
It's making its way over towards Rick's on the River and Julian B. Lane Park. But we're starting to thin out a little bit here at Armature Works, which leads me to believe we're getting ready for the post-celebration.
Yeah, probably. And like you said, a lot of people are making their way, continuing to follow the boats. You can see them walking along the Riverwalk to get the best view that they can. But wow, and you hear the music right there behind us. And the party is going on, which even after Julian B. Lane, I have a feeling people will be partying all the way through tonight and may call in sick again tomorrow because this is a wild day.
Not May. There's going to be a lot of people that say, hey, boss, this must be a 2-day flu. I can't get over this thing. I mean, I'll see you on Wednesday or maybe Thursday. Unbelievable, man, the scene out here. A lot of people are having fun, celebrating in the only way that Tampa Bay knows how to celebrate. I just love when you see the shot here from Sky 10. That's Rick's on the River, where this party is docking and then going over to Julian B. Lane.
Yeah. And we've got the boat. There we go.
A lot of fun out here.
It's hard to keep track of everything going on. Your eyes constantly darting from boat to boat because there's just so much fun going on out here on the water.
So we've seen first boat to come through was Andrei Vasilevsky, Mikhail Sergachev, and Victor Hedman. Sorry, not Victor Hedman, Nikita Kucherov, all shirtless. They were the first crew to come through. And then slowly we've seen some of these players trickling in. Tyler Johnson came through. You had Anthony Cirelli, Ryan McDonough, and Pat Maroon just came through. You had Stamkos and Hedman a little bit ago. these guys, and you could just see as each boat passes, as each guy gets to celebrate with the fans, they're chugging the champagne, they're throwing the beer on them, they're tossing beer to the fans. Again, the opportunity to celebrate with this fan base, something they didn't get to do a lot of last year because of COVID, it just makes it that much more special.
Yeah, it really does. And it's as if we're celebrating both at the same time because of what you just mentioned with last year, or less than a year ago, with that win during COVID and the protocols that we were under. So fantastic that we get to celebrate right here on the water, all together, shoulder to shoulder. Fans really had a fantastic time out here today. They are just, every time a boat would come by with a player, again, and you called it, how close they're able to get. That's what's so exciting about it. It's not like, oh, they're halfway down the street. It's like right here, the person I've been watching right there.
And that's what makes, to me, this boat parade so intimate and such a, a unique affair with these players and these fans, where they can come through. You got fans here behind us. I like the broom, by the way.
Yeah.
You got to have a broom to sweep up the boat in case, anything drops.
There's going to be a lot of boat detailing after this because.
Yes. Well, it was funny because I saw one of the boats that came by, and it was the boat where the Vinnick family was on, and I saw somebody kind of just easing the little sheriff's boat, got a little too close to the Vinnick yacht.
Oh.
They were kind of pushing it off a little bit, and that's what makes this so impressive too. You've got to maneuver through all these boats that are out.
Yeah.
I can't even begin to try and guess, but you'd have to say, 100, 200 boats, even more than that if you count the fans that have been out here.
And usually the Sheriff's Office, Police Department are able to give us a head count or boat count by the end of the day. But yeah, it's an incredible turnout that we had out here today. Expected, of course.
Again, you're looking
at
the
weather.
This is the finish point for the parade here. Rick's
Yeah.
on the River. I've taken a Freedom Boat Club out of here, members 1 or 2 times out of Rick's on the River, which is right past us here at Armature Works.
None available today. I wonder why.
No, those were all booked up today. Everybody trying to make sure they got a reservation. I'm telling you, right after Game 5 win, I went on to check. Oh, they were all gone.
They were all
Everybody
gone.
was getting ready for whatever this celebration would be. And we got word pretty quickly, which again was impressive that you noted, is how quickly they pulled this off. I mean, the day after they won the Cup, we had already learned that they were going to have this celebration on Monday. And it helps that they've done it 2 times before. But certainly a good one here. Hey, the Rowdies.
Another successful team that we have. Let's not forget.
They were in the final last year, came close to winning. COVID obviously stopped them from winning their championship last year. But they had a little congrats for the boys of the Lightning.
What's up, Bolts? First off, congratulations on back-to-back Stanley Cup wins. That is absolutely electric. You are setting the tone for the city, and it's something we want to follow in suit. But if you're feeling like coming to Owl Lake, bringing that Stanley Cup here, watching one of our games, we'd love it. Come on by. Again, congrats, guys. Go Bolts.
That's what's been so much fun about this year is seeing the different teams show love to each other, right? It's just been so exciting to hear the players and the staff really just send out love, and it's so easy to do now with social media. But yeah, we've had so much fun seeing that.
I had an
just proud of each other.
opportunity to put together a piece for our Super Bowl coverage of just how each team had kind of rallied around the Bucks at that point. And it was Kevin Kiermaier, Coach Neil Collins of the Rowdies that I got a chance to spoke to, Alex Killorn, who joined me with his massive wine cellar behind him in that piece. But all of them talked about how much passion it is and that it motivates them, right? When you have one team that wins, you don't want to be the team that doesn't get it done. So it's kind of infectious, that winning vibe and that atmosphere, and it's reverberated throughout this city and throughout our sports franchises.
Boy, it's almost as if it's contagious. You're like, step up your game to make sure that, you represent our city really well, and they sure have. All of our teams have done fantastic, and we've been very fortunate to have them.
It's getting pretty toasty. I just had to look up to see, okay, sun's directly above us. It's getting close to, let's see, 1:51 here, so getting close to 2 o'clock here. Again, the party at Julian B. Lane was scheduled to start at 2 o'clock. We still got some boats out here, still finishing up this parade route here on the water, but that is where the post-celebration will be. We already saw in Angie's shot some of the fans over there, some of the guys getting off their boats and starting to get shipped over. It's going to be fun over there at Julian B. Lane Park. I can't wait to see and hear what those guys have to say after the 5-day bender they've been on.
I'm sure it's going to be very entertaining when they take the stage and get to speak to the fans. And can you imagine the noise level that's going to be there, all contained within the park? It's going to be a lot of fun. So a lot of fans excited about that. A lot of them leaving Armature Works heading that way to go ahead and be a part. That was supposed to start at 2, but we got pushed back a little bit throughout the day.
Yeah, that delay in the parade there by one boat kind of being in the center and docked up that had to get moved.
Which Bo Zimmer told us about.
That obviously slowed things down a little bit here. But I am quite impressed. I had called 4 hours. I'm sorry, bosses. I had called 4 hours potentially for this thing to go on. We've done this 2 times before. They moved, though. Once this thing actually got going, it's been under 2 hours where they started from once this thing got going to there at the finish line. So pretty impressed with how efficient they've been with this parade.
Especially when you consider, when the players were coming by, it wasn't like they just went straight by.
Yeah.
They came, they circled, maybe circled twice, circled 3 times, and then kept going, really making sure that the fans had a chance to see them, to have a party with them as they made their way here along the Hillsborough River and the Riverwalk.
Gatto, because you got to cover this run with me as well. Do you have a favorite moment? Is there something that stands out to you? Maybe it's the fans being back and being able to celebrate. Like what stands out to you about this cup?
For me, it's just the emotion of the fans being able to be back out. I mean, like you talked about with COVID, it's been, obviously a very tough year for many people personally, professionally. We've been through a lot going through COVID. So to be able to do this, to be able to be out here again, seeing people without a mask on, to be able to be with fans, there's nothing like that energy. There's nothing like having the opportunity to celebrate a win, to celebrate the team, and to do it in person versus the way that we had to do it before.
And
for you?
Seeing that, for me, it was that Blake Coleman goal in game 2.
Yeah.
I literally, and it's funny because I tried to kind of skip the crowd and I was a little hungry, so I went towards the concession stand and I walked right back into the concourse, from the concourse, right before he scored that goal. And there were some fans next to me and Coleman scores that. Somebody smacks the taco that I had in my hand, celebrating. I go, all right, well, if there's a way to lose a taco, it's over a Blake Coleman goal that you'll never forget. But that atmosphere, that goal, that moment, there's been so many along this cup run, but that specific moment when he scored that changed the course of this series. Because it was a 1-1 game. Montreal was dominating that game too. And when he scores that goal, that changed the entire complexion of this series. It was really fun to watch these guys respond. And as Cooch said in his post-game press conference, Montreal acted like they won the cup after that win in Game 4.
Yeah.
Look, it had been 28 years since they had a Stanley Cup victory to celebrate. I understand those fans going a little crazy and getting excited. They're going to be a good team, but this is Tampa Bay's time and our window to celebrate.
Oh, so much fun. And really also seeing, our team. And it took a lot of coordination to get, we've got Ben, we've got Evan. Angie really has been, really very much part of the coverage. And you guys being out there, just really electric to be able to be out there and to cover it in person.
Yeah, it's been an incredible ride throughout the entire postseason. It's been incredible to document this team's journey. Look, I remember traveling to Montreal back in 2014 when this team was kind of starting that run. You remember getting swept by the Blue Jackets. I remember being in Game 7 covering the Capitals and the Lightning when the Lightning were up 3-2 in that series and ended up losing. Caps went on to win the Cup that year. You talk about the heartbreaks, Carolina.
The shock of
and
that.
It's those kind of moments, right? It's those kind of building blocks. It's those moments that test your resolve and your redemption that gets you to this point to be able to win back-to-back Stanley Cups. And I remember John Cooper saying to this team before the year started, do you guys want to be, a team that won the Cup one year? Do you guys want to truly be special? And it was that motivation to be a franchise that you remember as being a dynasty, special, one of a few, one of only 9 franchises now to win back-to-back Stanley Cups. It doesn't happen often. This team was able to do it.
Man, and you just really, when you think about that, right, because just winning a Stanley Cup is a feat in itself, right, to get there. But that's a really a crucial point to be made, just the thought of that to be remembered for what they did back to back, and of course in the environment that we were in as they were playing these games. So.
And that's why going through COVID, right? Think about it.
You cannot forget that layer of this.
How difficult and how stressful it was on the players, the staff, their families.
Not
Think
being
about
with
it.
their families.
You weren't allowed to be with them. COVID quarantines, COVID protocols kept you from them, and so add that layer on top of it. How hard it is to win a cup, how hard it is to win back-to-back cups, and then the layer of all the adjustments that these players have had to deal with. It's what makes it that much more special to do it in this type of environment and to celebrate like only we know how.
And we're seeing here the crowd there at Julian B. Lane Park. It's just so much fun to be able to see the fans out there, waiting for the players to come out and take the stage, as well as all the music and everything that they're going to be able to enjoy there. And the weather, it held up. You couldn't have asked for better weather. A little hot, but better than being rained on. We're lucky to have today.
So I do want to tell you, our coverage does not stop here. While we may be leaving you guys live here on 10 Tampa Bay on our YouTube page, on our Facebook page, we will continue to live stream the party that's going to go on at Julian B. Lane Park. We will have that for you guys. You guys will be able to watch that and enjoy that coverage. Of course, coming up at 5, 6 on 10 this evening, we will have all of the coverage for those 90 minutes. And then tonight at Nightside, you and I will wrap this entire day up, give you the best moments of the celebration. We will have it all covered. And we're just so thankful that you guys joined us here on 10 Tampa Bay.
All right, so for the Parade of Champions, this has been so much fun. We're just really thankful that you were with us today to enjoy all that we got to soak in today. There was a lot to it. Your eyes had to dart to all kinds of boats. It was a lot of fun.
For our crews that got out here at 6 a.m., everyone lined up along the waterfront for Allison, Bobby, Angelina, Ben, Evan. Tweelon, all of our people that have been out here covering. We just want to thank you and our crews. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it.
All right, have a good day.